Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins played their final game before the trade deadline last night in Nashville. They got blown out by a team in full sell mode, 6-3. This was a 5-1 game after 2 periods. Matthew Wood scored twice. Charlie McAvoy had a goal and an assist in a loss.
Just wasn't good enough. We just didn't play a good enough game. I think we got away from what allows us to have success. And, yeah, just in every aspect, it just wasn't good enough.
The next game is tomorrow against the Washington Capitals at TD Garden. The trade deadline is at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Capitals made a big move late last night. They sent John Carlson to Anaheim for a conditional first-round draft pick and a third-rounder. Columbus got Connor Garland from Vancouver for second and third-round draft picks. The big story of the morning, though, is Jason Tatum. The Celtics have upgraded him to questionable for their home game against Dallas tonight. According to ESPN and others, the expectation is he's going to make his debut against the Mavericks. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots have signed former Arizona linebacker Jesse Luketa. They have reportedly met with former Cleveland starting left tackle Cedric Willis. Buffalo made a big trade yesterday. They got wide receiver DJ Moore from Chicago. Red Sox lost an exhibition game to Philadelphia 6-2. They'll play Detroit and Lakeland, Florida today. And at the World Baseball Classic, there is one game underway at this hour. Japan just scored 10 times in the top of the second inning to take a 10-0 lead. Shohei Ohtani, a grand slam and an RBI single in that inning. He has a double as well. The U.S. plays Brazil tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by DN Van Lines. Take the chance out of your move and make the sure bet with DN Van Lines, an approved mover of the Department of Defense. DNVanlines.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Listen to it. Laugh at it. Get mad at it. Agree with it. Argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah, boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy.
I didn't even know what to do at my house anymore.
What's going on?
My son just called. He said, since it's daylight saving time, what time should I feed the dog?
What?
He's feeding the dog. That's good news. That
That's a
doesn't happen
plus.
in my house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
It
mean,
never happens in my house either.
He gets up early, and I'm happy he's feeding the dog. I'm like, I mean, the show has started. I don't think he knows what I do for a living, number one. And if he does, he doesn't care. But number two, so he's calling me as the show is starting, and he's like, I got home last night because I had my stupid golf league that I had to do, which I stink at. And it is dumb. So I get home, but it's not late. I get home, it's like only like 10. And the basement light is on. So I figure, oh, the dog must be in bed with Marcy. And I go upstairs. Marcy is asleep wearing an eye mask like she's Gloria frickin' Swanson. And just dead to the world, but no dog in the bed.
Okay.
I go back downstairs, dog is on the couch. Dog never sleeps all night on the couch. I'm like, you know what? Dog's sleeping on the couch tonight. I got to go to bed.
Sure.
So now I'm a little irked. I don't fall asleep for hours. So I actually feel okay because I just had a refreshing nap before I came into work.
Oh,
That's
it wasn't
all
because you were upset about the dog thing. This is something different.
I'm a little thrown off by everything.
Yeah.
So then when I get up this morning, dog gets off the couch and he's like, hey, good to see you. Never really get a chance to see you in the morning. Let's go outside. Let's have a pet. Let's spend some time. I'm like, great. Okay. All right. We'll walk around in the rain outside and take her in. And then the capper is my high school aged son calling me confused about daylight saving time and what that means for the dog feeding time. Like, Those two. Peas in a pod, those two. The mother and son. Very similar personalities. And I can't deal with two of them.
I see.
There's no balance in the house anymore.
So how much sleep did you get last night?
About 3 hours and 20 minutes, I'll call it.
Oh.
You want to know what the whoop says I got?
Yeah.
3 hours and 39 minutes.
Oh, you and I. All right. So
Yeah.
you are better rested than I am, sir.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I feel 100%. That's why I had 75 pieces of candy. When I got in here, my body was just like, if there's candy, anything to get going here, sir. Please give me something. So I had a very healthy breakfast of lots of candy.
What kind of candy?
Well, there's a bowl back there. It's got M&Ms in it, and it's got Almond Joy. It's got Twix.
The Almond Joy is good because it's got coconut.
I do enjoy the coconut. A lot of people don't like coconut. Some of the best people don't like coconut, but I do like coconut.
I picked up some lemon meringue M&Ms. Have you seen those at the point of purchase at the Walgreens or the CVS lately?
Seen all kinds of M&Ms. I've never seen lemon meringue.
Lemon meringue M&Ms. They're okay.
So there's no chocolate in them.
No.
So they're not really M&Ms.
I was just going to say, isn't that the anti M&M? You need chocolate for it to be an M&M.
Well, does either M stand for chocolate? I don't know. And M&M can be whatever M&M says they are.
Well, I guess the corporation.
Thinking all these years that they've sold M&Ms, every other version of it has chocolate.
And I'm saying if you had a Reese's peanut butter cup with no peanut butter, you'd be like, well, that's not really a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I have never had one of those. There's always been peanut butter in the Reese's that I've eaten.
Exactly. Thank you. You've proven my point.
No, there's not a Reese's peanut butter cup if there's no peanut butter in there.
Bingo.
Just like there's not an M&M if there's no chocolate.
No, because there's no chocolate in the name M&M.
It doesn't matter if there's a name. If it's in the name or not. It's part of the recipe for the M&M for there to be chocolate.
But it still matters.
My point is, it doesn't count.
Have you had the peanut butter filled M&Ms?
Yes.
I don't know if there's any chocolate in
There
those.
is.
I think it's peanut butter with a candy
part of the shell. Yes.
It's a candy.
Okay.
Candy shell.
All right.
I'll look it up.
You okay? Go right ahead.
Let Hardy look it up, for God's sakes.
Yeah, you know what? I'd love to do this.
Will you let Hardy look it up to see if you're right? Let him look it up. Everyone's on the edge of their seats.
Chocolate in peanut butter M&Ms. I didn't even have to finish it. Yes, peanut butter M&Ms contain real milk chocolate. See?
Boy, you're always right.
Do the
I don't know why I started this argument.
I can help you. Do the caramel M&Ms contain chocolate?
Probably.
I don't think they might.
But John is still wrong because it's the candy shell is just that. It's a candy shell. There's a layer of milk chocolate around
that's what
the
he
peanut
meant.
butter.
I see. Okay.
But he didn't say that, so he doesn't get credit for that.
You are a little off today. You're a little off.
Which is a shame because I'd like to talk as little as possible today after 3 hours of sleep.
We got you.
Right.
We got you.
So,
Don't you worry.
Sure.
So I can't afford Hardy to be off. He needs to do some lifting today. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So look, we are Toucher and Hardy. We're in the Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Please do that. Oh, for the love of God, do that. And you will get so much pleasure out of it. It's really unbelievable. I'm sure you're all very jealous. I will be seeing Hoppers on Saturday.
I don't know from Hoppers.
Well, Hoppers is an animated film about something or other.
Is it rabbit based for the upcoming Easter celebration?
I'm gonna guess that if it's Hoppers and it's around Easter, that it is about rabbits.
Okay.
It's animated. I can tell you in one moment what the poster looks like. Hoppers is it looks like a chipmunk and a bear.
Oh.
So I'm not quite sure what Hoppers is.
In the city of Beaverton, young Mabel Tanaka spends her days
Oh, no, we're not going.
with her grandmother in a local forest glade home to many wild animals, particularly a colony of beavers. It's about
Yes.
beavers?
It's like Hustler Honeys.
Oh. Mabel discovers secretly been developing a new technology to enhance wildlife research dubbed the Hoppers program. It allows human consciousness to hop into a robotic animal and experience life up close as that species.
Did you ever, you remember that magazine Beaver Hunt?
I remember the feature inside another magazine called Beaver Hunt.
Was that in Hustler?
Yes.
Okay, so that wasn't its own magazine.
No, it had the Polaroids, like photographs of Polaroids on the page.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
No. Beaver Hunt was its own publication.
Oh. Now, was it a Hustler subsidiary?
Yes.
Of course.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
you and I were
under
on the same track.
It was under the banner. Oil 'em up. Oil 'em up. Yeah. Beaver Hunt is a pornographic magazine aimed at men.
Yeah.
And published in the United States. It was first published in 1979, the great year of 1979.
Wow.
By Larry Flint. It was an offshoot of Hustler magazine's popular running feature, Beaver Hunt, which first appeared in the July 76 issue of Hustler. The feature became so popular that Larry Flint decided to create a magazine featuring only reader-submitted photos. And then it explains why it was called Beaver Hunt. Though the title of the magazine has changed somewhat over the years, changing times, changing social mores. Don't get lost here, but I'm going to give you some of the other names.
Sure.
Please try to follow along. Hustler Beaver Hunt.
Okay.
The Best of Hustler Beaver Hunt.
Yeah.
Hustler Best of Beaver Hunt. So they said the Best of Hustler Beaver Hunt. He goes, that don't work. Hustler leads.
Yeah.
So call it Hustler Best of Beaver Hunt. Several times a year, LFP, Larry Flint Publications, publishes Best of Beaver Hunt featuring standout pictorials previously seen in pages of Hustler. So I don't know.
I like that.
Well, beaverhunt.com is a website. So you can go ahead and look at that if you would like to.
I believe I will.
Yeah, you shall. Get right on that and let me know. I'm going to wonder when they ran out of women, men that were sending in pictures or women that were sending in pictures of themselves, and they resorted to just taking their own Polaroids of ugly ladies.
Oh, Lord. Oh, that's not a lot of... okay. All right.
Does it have anything about the movie Hoppers on it?
This is like an animated sci-fi thing you're going to tomorrow, Fred.
It's sci-fi. My daughter said it sounds. She's heard it's very good on the streets.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, it's very good, is what I've been told. So
Okay.
that is what I'm doing on Saturday.
Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes has to say about this Hoppers film. Oh, 96% on the tomato meter.
The tomato meter again. It's funny because you'll look at where they're getting their reviews from, and it used to be like the Chicago Tribune and the New York Times, and now it's like Al's Movie Hunt.
Well, okay.
It used to be called Beaver Hunt.
But I just pulled up out of the 114 critics' reviews. You've got such luminaries as Christopher Lloyd from the Film Yap.
He, of course, running on that taxi money.
Right. And you also have Russ Simmons, who's still got his Def Jam money, but is now also writing reviews for KKFI FM. So here's a radio station movie reviewer out of Kansas City. Gave it 4 out of 5. Excellent animation, sharp voice work, and thoughtful screenplay. He said, Hoppers should hop right to the top of the U.S. box office.
Hey.
Huh?
That marvelous genius. Wow. Woof. He took the name of the movie and popped it right in. He thinks it's going to be a resounding success.
Well, that's how he got that gig at KKFI. They're not hiring some hack. You gotta have a way with words.
That reminds me of like the December 1980 version of Beaver Hunt, when they started really using the name Beaver Hunt to sell the magazine itself. That was a great cover.
All right, you elitist snob. Do you want something from the failing New York Times?
Yeah.
Alyssa Wilkinson said Hoppers possesses that certain charm that comes with pudgy beavers and dastardly caterpillars.
Yeah, that was one. That was one.
You
We
just
did in
named it.
November of '79.
You just gave another subsidiary publication. It was only
Pudgy beavers, not fat. Pudgy, like Larry Mondello.
Oh, boy.
Lumpy Rutherford.
cute animals, and a little absurdity can make any mildly overcrowded plot more watchable. There you go.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, I don't know if it can outdo Goat, which I saw a couple weeks ago, but we'll see. We'll see if we can pass Goat. Because I told you I saw that Saw movie, and that's I say I've seen 70 movies over the last, 3 years in the movie theater. I will tell you that Saw 7, not Saw,
Scary movie?
Scary Movie 7 is the worst movie I've seen in the theater. And I've seen stuff like Hoppers and Goat. I've seen a lot of kids' movies, and that was the worst movie I've ever seen in the theater. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, obviously, but it's the worst movie I've seen in the theater. And I walked out of one of the last Thor movie. We just walked out in the beginning. There was no dialogue, and it was very dark, and it went on for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it was just neither of us want to be here.
Well, I don't know if it was one of these, Marvel, DC, whatever, but a lot of them now just start with this action sequence that's just picking up from where another movie left off, and you're supposed to know who all these people are. One of the Spider-Man movies started like that, with this huge fight between Iron Man and Spider-Man and all this stuff. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why is Iron Man here?
Civil War, I would imagine.
Nick's completely into these movies. I don't even know if he is anymore, but I really question the patience for them, because again, when I have my kids and my daughters around, usually she'll have something to do one night, and then the next night she won't have anything to do, and I don't want to sit home. So, and we like the food at the movie theater, and I like going there. I like it's better than a restaurant for me. I just like sitting there and not have to think about anything. And I also very much like it. If my son would go, I would like it too, but because it gets them off their phone for whatever amount of time. And even though it's Hoppers and it's just some animated, silly animated film, at least it's taking in long form narrative that kids just don't do anymore. I mean, it's impossible to get either of them to read. They barely watch TV shows, 20-minute TV shows. So she'll still do things with me. So so I'm I think it's important that she at least sits down and sees something. So whatever. But I enjoy it too. Rather than just sitting at home, certainly, or going out to eat. I think that's better. But I don't even know why I brought that up. I had something very profound to say.
I can't believe. Now, did you like Goat?
No.
I see, that surprises me, because it's got such luminary voice actors as Steph Curry, Jelly Roll, Angel Reese, and Gabrielle Union.
It's got Nick Kroll, and I'm a huge fan of his, as are you, but I don't think he's in it a lot. It was. I mean, as you can imagine, it's bad. It's very bad. The kid from Stranger Things, apparently, the black kid from Stranger Things, is the lead character. He plays the goat.
Yeah, and David Harbour, also from Stranger Things.
Who's David Harbour?
Eleven's surrogate father.
Cynthia Harbour was a big beaver hunt contributor.
Oh, no.
We used to run a weekly thing called You Know What Caption. It was like a Mad Libs for beaver.
Yeah. I saw, like you did, I looked up Beaver Hunt online and saw some of the covers. You can't even say, on the air, what they said the features were inside the magazine. I mean, you can't describe them either.
Yeah.
But it's just...
You know, like those like Hustlers was huge in prison. Like apparently, there's a book called I can't remember the name of it. We had the author on when we were at WBCN. It's like a real book, and it's about a guy that was the art director at Hustler for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's about how weird the job was. Like, because, you know, like guys that work at these magazines, you know, aren't pornographers. Like, they are looking for jobs, and it's hard to get a photography job that pays well, like at a magazine. And the guy's like, this is Flynn Enterprises. You know, they published all these magazines, so he got one at Hustler. And the way that he talked, it's really short, and if I still have it, I'll bring it in if anyone's curious about it. I think Adam would be. And it's like Larry or whoever, Larry's brother or whoever would be like, these are okay, but I need more oil. Like, and he's like, at the end, we were just like dumping buckets of oil on women, and like there was never enough oil. Like they just wanted so much oil, and not strategically placed oil to like make them look like they were enjoying it. Yeah, like, you know, because there's no sex, like real sex, just like oil all over their bodies, and then Larry would be like, oil.
Yeah, we got to do it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, just do it.
And
Put more oil on.
so that generation of you know, you had the big three. It's like Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer. You had Playboy, Hustler, and Penthouse. Now, Hustler was the most disturbing magazine by a very large margin. Terrible cartoons, gross stuff, like real gross, like deliberately gross stuff in it. But who would have thought at the end, Penthouse would lap them by quite a bit on everyday pictorial grossness.
Let me tell you, they got into a certain activity the last time I looked at a Penthouse. And it was a long time ago, but there was a certain activity that was being featured in multiple.
You're a sicko Guccione.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I don't know anybody who's into this, but apparently Penthouse thinks everybody is into it.
So there's a decent like docu-series on Hustler, and it's on, I believe it's on Hulu, which you never hear about him, right? Like there's the People versus Larry Flint. There's no shortage of stuff about Hefner. I mean, it's all Hefner crap. And there was never anything really about Guccione. Guccione owned the largest private residence in Manhattan. Think about that. Yeah. Like in Manhattan, the most expensive real estate possibly in the world, certainly it has to be in the top 3.
It wasn't a chic. It wasn't some real estate baron.
And there's chic, and Trump lived in Manhattan at the time. He had this like colossal mansion in New York City. It wasn't freestanding, but it was like, it had a pool, an indoor pool, like a real indoor pool and like grotto inside. You never hear about him. And basically the documentary just went, and they're like, why did he get into the act that you're describing? And they're just like, we don't know. He just got super into it. It was like just kind of his whims. Because he made Caligula and it failed, and he got very upset. He made Omni magazine. Do you remember the science magazine Omni?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, he got like super into science. And I used to make busty beauties and beaver hunt. Tee-hee-hee. I win again, Gooch. Now we're all dead.
Guccione owned a 30-room, 22,000 square foot double-wide townhouse on East 67th Street in Manhattan.
And it looks like Mar-a-Lago. Like, I think you can imagine how it was decorated. Like, it's like all gold. It's all like what do you call those, sprites, and like the guys with the arrows, like those dumb statues of like the kids with the arrows, like what do they call those?
Cupid, you're thinking of, like
but they're cherub, little cherubs and things like that, like a bunch of like just awful statues and stuff. It was horrible. But I mean, there's no way that building still exists. There's no way they haven't turned that into like 8, $20 million residences. Like, he had this place in Manhattan. It was insane. He was so rich. But then he tried to build a casino in Atlantic City, the Penthouse Casino, and Trump screwed him on the deal, and then that cost him. And now Trump's the president of the United States. All right. We'll be back in just a moment with everything that happened last evening.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
Did you know Scrub-A-Dub Unlimited lets you wash anytime you want? The all-new Scrub-A-Dub Bedford is now open off Mystic Ave.
Anytime's a good time to be Scrub-A-Dub clean.
Nobody knows New England.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
What happened last evening?
In answer to that question, Fred, might I quote one Jim McBride of the Boston Globe, who eviscerated your Boston Bruins in his column. And I quote, "With every point precious in a perilous playoff push, a lot of alliteration from a scrupulous scribe placed in a powerful post. The Bruins played one of their worst games of the season, a humbling 6-3 loss at Bridgestone Arena to a Predators club that had already made 3 trades this week. Boston's offense was listless, its defense leaky, and its goaltending shaky as it dropped to 34-22-5. The players will spend Friday watching and refreshing their phones until the 3 p.m. trade deadline hits."
Mm-hmm.
So, how did it go badly last night? Let's start with goal number 1.
Coming through the neutral ice was Svechkov. Gave it off on the left wing side. They shot and they score. Haig shot, just able to trickle through Korpisalo. And the Predators grab a 1-0 lead.
They would take that 1-0 lead into the first intermission.
Leaky.
Yes.
Very, very leaky.
Leaky from
Stop talking about Penthouse.
Korpisalo. See, that's the way you could say what they were talking about without saying it. That was very good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well done, Fred.
Yeah.
Matthew Wood would score a minute 24 into the second period for Nashville before the Bruins would finally get on the board.
They face off in the attack zone. Another 5-on-4 power play chance. Win of the face-off by Elias Lindholm. McAvoy quickly over to Geekie, who scores!
They needed to get him going. He's fought the puck a little bit. He's been snake bitten.
That's Bob Beers will be joining us later on in the program. But the Predators would continue to add goals.
Stamkos back across to that far side. Shot attempt by Ufko. Instead, it'll be Forsberg now. Tip back out to the blue line off of Husnedinov. Stamkos standing along the half wall on the near side. Sends it across, and they score.
Philippe.
Forsberg from the top of the right circle. Power play goal, 4-1.
4-1 in the second period. It would be 5-1 before they would get to the second intermission. And despite the best efforts of Charlie McAvoy and Victor Arvidsson, both scoring in the third, the empty netter would make it a 6-3 win for Nashville.
Not good. None of it. None of it. It was. They had a chance early. I don't know if you saw this. Elias Lindholm was standing in front of the net, had about 3/4 of the net to shoot at, and Soros somehow stoned him there. I think that would have tied the game right at the end of the first period. But after that, that's it. No chance.
McAvoy in there at the end, as I said, trying to make it a bit of a game, despite suffering a somewhat familiar mishap.
You took that puck to the face where you're thinking, oh, no. Here
Unbelievable, man. I actually couldn't believe it. It's on the other side now, the only spot I have, the teeth left right here. And I right away, I felt something in my mouth, thought I chipped him again, but I think we're all right. We just put some glue on it and stuff, and it'll be fine.
No big whoop.
I think that was McBride asking that question.
I think it was Jim McBride, yes.
When Hagens comes up, that will be at least exciting.
Something to watch, too. BC lost again, and so the chances of them making the NCAA tournament, they're a bubble team from what I'm reading anyway, and they lost again, I think it was last night. So the chances of Hagens getting here sooner rather than later is increasing.
Don't you have to win that Hockey East to get into the tournament?
I don't know how the selection process works. There are more teams now in the tournament than there used to be.
Okay.
But yes, that would be helpful if they ran the table and won the Hockey East to get in.
Because I know that BU has to win the Hockey East. They're saying to get into the tournament.
BU's record, I think, is worse than BC's.
And they beat BC twice this year.
Yep.
Because I was at one of them,
Yeah, there you go.
I was out there
you're scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not there enjoying the game, eating popcorn.
So Hagens could be here by the end of the month.
That would be exciting, at least, because I would very much caution them to go too crazy at the deadline here. I wouldn't go crazy like last year subtracting, but I certainly
Right,
wouldn't add a lot unless you can get someone relatively young with term.
And you don't want to use the recency bias on a game like that. But that team last night looked less like the team that Don Sweeney was describing earlier in the week when he said this team has earned it, they deserve it, they need something added to them.
Well, they're very good at home, and they're very bad on the road, and that's fine. They weren't, it's nice that they're challenging for a playoff spot. It's all jammed up there. There's no guarantee they're going to get in whatsoever. They have very little breathing room. They have a point on Columbus for the last wild card spot. They're 2 behind Montreal for the first wild card spot. In Montreal is a game in hand, so there's not a lot of. And now they're like getting a little further and further away of challenging for getting outside of a wild card slot. So it doesn't seem overly ideal.
The prices are going up as well. There were a lot of trades overnight. There was one guy that the Bruins have been tied to for about a week, Connor Garland, Massachusetts guy. He's a solid 15 to 20 goal scorer. I think he only has 7 goals this year in 50-plus games. He's having a down year. Columbus, who's right behind you, just traded a second and a third for that guy. I would think Garland, if he is subpar, and that takes a second and third to get him, I would think the prices, even though it's supposedly a buyer's market, have gone up a little bit here.
How much
we have the last day?
Do you know how much term Garland has left?
I do not. I will check as we go along here.
But it seems like the last thing they need is like another workman-like forward.
But I think on this team, he'd be a top 9 guy, maybe tops. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
don't they need a right shot defenseman?
Yes, they do. They need a right shot defenseman. There were rumors about Oliver Ekman-Larsson last night that I was reading, but Ekman-Larsson's a left shot defenseman who's 34.
Garland is playing under a 6-year, $36 million contract extension that extends through the 31-32 season.
Oh, so I'm very happy the Bruins did not trade for him. That's probably a cap killer. That contract. We don't want that guy.
He seems to be making a lot of money for someone who is that mediocre.
Yes.
At least mediocre offensively. I can't speak to his two-way prowess, but
they got enough work. You were saying, they got enough sandpaper guys.
Well, that's all they did in free agency.
That's right.
They went out and got sandpaper guys.
They got enough Tanner Janot people. They need guys who can actually score goals. So yes, now looking at the fuller picture, good for Columbus. Go get them.
Yeah. So unless you're getting a star that's young with term, I wouldn't give up much.
Hagens can play. We just had Jim McBride on. He told us he can play wing and center. That's a guy who would seem to, if his college game translates immediately, to help on that end in the top 9.
Yeah. So that at least will be exciting to see because they have 21 games left, and it would be nice if Hagens could come in. Mm-hmm. And do something for this team and give them a little young excitement, which has been a while since that's happened.
Still, I would like to see Don Sweeney follow through on his promise. And you're right, Hardy, recency bias. If you saw last night's game, you're like, oh, boy. But this team, by and large, has overachieved, considering what we all thought they were going to be capable of at the beginning of the season. Don Sweeney said as much. And I'm waiting for that bump. I'm waiting for whatever that means, at least an effort to help.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can also help by not – I mean, if you heard Geeky talking about it and stuff, it was Zaka or Geeky? I imagine it was Geeky talking about it. Like, they want to keep the team kind of as it is. And that I can see. I don't think that – I don't know if it's that going in and giving up future assets, you're certainly not going to get rentals. So no. I would more stay pat than I would do anything that outrageous, unless you can get a young star with term, and then you can decide if it's worth mortgaging picks and all that kind of stuff. And you can make that argument because obviously the draft is an unknown; it's a crapshoot. And you have Hagens coming up, and you believe that he's going to be a star in the NHL. So if you can add another young star, you have a fairly good nucleus going on, and maybe you don't need all those first-round picks. I mean, that what is Toronto's lost 6 in a row? So
Yeah.
you need Toronto to start winning a little bit because they can't get a top 5 pick.
Right.
Or else you don't get that pick. So there's a little bit of balls in the air, but I wouldn't go too nuts if I was the Bruins. And it's not recency bias based on last night. They suck on the road. It's and look, if they made the playoffs, it would be nice. They're a tough team, and you could see if they could wear someone down over the course of 7 games or 6 games or whatever, how long the series takes. But I don't know if they could make an addition that guarantees them to make the playoffs, so I certainly wouldn't go nuts.
All right. The biggest news yesterday happened in the form of an injury report yesterday afternoon. We'll get to that next.
All right.
Along with a highlight from the World Baseball Classic that had John's feathers fluttering here this morning. He was so excited.
It'd be nice if there was a mercy rule in the World Baseball Classic because you could take a little bit of mercy on someone right now. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins were beaten in Nashville last night, 6-3. Matthew Wood, 2 goals for the Predators. The Bruins' next game is tomorrow against the Washington Capitals at TD Garden. The NHL trade deadline arrives at 3 p.m. Eastern time this afternoon. Celtics play Dallas at TD Garden tonight. Jason Tatum now expected to play in his first game of the season. In this one, he was upgraded to questionable by the team early yesterday. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots yesterday signed former Arizona linebacker Jesse Luketa. Red Sox lost an exhibition game to Philadelphia 6-2. They're in Lakeland, Florida today to play Detroit. And at the World Baseball Classic, 1 game underway at this hour. Japan leads Chinese Taipei 13-0 in the 4th inning. Shohei Ohtani has 3 hits, including a grand slam and 5 RBIs. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180. We all love the word free, so does Awaken 180. Medication free, side effect free, and free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Hatcher and Hardy.
Individuals who seek acceptance, respite, and care.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
And Hardy, you tease that there's big news coming in the world of NBA basketball. Look out, world. Here comes the documentary.
And here comes Tim McCone to break the news for you yesterday on Zolak and Bertrand.
Celtics injury report. Versus Dallas tomorrow night. Jason Tatum, right Achilles repair, questionable.
You might be buying McCone some lunch.
But I won't. Harold Landry was questionable for about 5 weeks, too.
I don't know what the argument was about, but
the exact same thing. Zolak, dead on. It's exactly the same thing.
It had something to do with lunch, so they were all engaged. And the word from Shams Charania is that don't believe that questionable. He's playing.
He has championship aspirations. He has aspirations of contending and competing. You think about him.
Whoa, stop it. Again, Shams.
He's Scheftering right now. Let him
That's
cook.
the first thing I thought of.
Let him cook.
I mean, these insiders, I like, no doubt these guys break news, which I still question why that's a big deal, that they get stuff on Twitter really fast. I mean, unless you're doing a radio show and you need to do headlines, it's not really overly concerning
Somebody
to anyone.
had to take over for Adrian Wojnarowski.
Right.
So, and it was Shams Charania, the heir apparent.
But I do follow Schefter on Instagram, and I can tell you this, is that and he's like, say he's the best at it in the NFL. 99% of the things he put up are just obvious like quasi opinions about something that's going to happen. Like that's wow, you think Tatum wants to win a title? Well, that's shocking. Most guys don't. And he has championship aspirations.
Yes.
Interesting. As opposed to everyone on a playoff team right now that would like to just go home. I mean, Harden, I guess.
Yes.
But besides from that, I mean, most people, it seems like, would rather win a championship than not.
Of contending and competing. You think about him and Jaylen Brown. They are as successful as a young duo as we've seen in this NBA. They've been
Whoa. We'll look that up, John, and see if they've had any success together.
Got it.
5 conference finals, 2 NBA finals.
Now I don't need to look it up.
Just double check if he's right.
Okay.
1 championship together, and Jason Tatum is trying to come back late here this season to try to lift this team into championship contention.
Yep. All of that's true.
He must have talked to someone in the camp. Does this bother? I know it bothers one. It bothers you, right, Hardy? It bothers one of you. Yeah, it bothers Hardy.
Of course.
Hardy's big on like Schefter saying dumb stuff. Like this is. It's just just say Tatum's coming back. I understand, and then he's got to fill time.
Yeah,
with he's part of a young duo with Jaylen Brown.
Give me 30 seconds on Tatum coming back. Okay, I got this.
Yeah, I'll just filibuster.
Tatum is a competitor, and he is working and has been working to get back from this injury with the desire to play sooner rather than later. Yeah. And now, it's like you just, okay, whatever. Yeah. All right, great. All right, well done. I did hear Cedric Maxwell on with somebody. It was on one of the national shows he had called in somewhere.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like him cheating on us. But, what Max said is it's like either way, this was, you could see this happening, but even more so because of the way Jaylen Brown has been playing. It's not like, oh, Jaylen Brown's got this. I don't need to come back. No, it's quite the opposite. Jaylen Brown has put this team into a position where they are here. Oh, all right. Now I'm going to, ramp things up to get back as quick as possible because we got a real shot at this thing. And with 20 games left in the regular season, that's enough of a ramp-up time. And as a lot of people have said, this is continued rehab now, starting tonight. This is just part of the rehab process. And he's back. He is ready to go. No, this is just the next step in this process.
There's going to be a minutes restriction for the foreseeable future. There are a couple of back-to-backs he's not going to play in. There's a question whether or not he's even going to start tonight. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily do that. I have him come off the bench and kind of ease his way in. I mean, there are a lot of restrictions on Tatum, even though he is going to play tonight. It's not the same. He's not going to leap back in, score 30 points, and play 40 minutes.
So the get-in price for tickets as of last night was $215. And according to one post, there will be T-shirts on every seat tonight. They say Celtics on them.
On the sleeve, it says back to zero.
Yeah, and on the back
back to zero,
and on the back it says presented by Beaver Hunt, which is why we were talking about that earlier. I want to go to the game tonight and sit with my arms crossed when he comes in.
But like one of those college games, you put up a newspaper when he's introduced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Okay.
If you can find me a newspaper, I'll do it.
That's right.
You can find me a non-Sunday newspaper.
Maybe everyone just look at your phone or something.
If I look at my phone, I'll be like everyone else. If you can find me a physical non-Sunday newspaper, I would love nothing more than to sit with looking at it.
Speaking of the phone, that is really my favorite of watching any courtside spectator at an NBA game. Seeing how many, as the play is like they're inbounding the ball right in front of you, how many people are on their phones. Like once you get over the thrill of being up that close, and for how many people sitting courtside are actual fans, as opposed to people who just hey man, they're giving us courtside seats to sit down here tonight, and they're looking at their phones.
Well, Melissa from I always get the station wrong. Hot, thank you. I always called something else that's a competitor. Melissa from Hot, who we all love. She's a great girl. She's on this cruise, and she's at like something, and because I follow her on Instagram, and she's filming herself, and it's a sea of people filming themselves.
Yeah,
it's just like this sea, like no one's particularly enjoying it,
right?
Like it's just like they're all want to prove. And to be honest with you, if I can, because I usually am not. If I'm going to go wild here, so I hate when people say that. But it doesn't even look like. I can't even tell what's going on because it just looks like something where everyone's filming themselves. So even the people filming themselves conceivably haven't even gotten it up made it clear what they're doing that's so exciting and enjoyable. So yes, of course people are on their phones. People get courtside tickets. It used to be seen, and now it's to be seen on the internet.
Yeah, just being seen in public in front of 17,000 people or the immediate people around you isn't good enough anymore.
Right. And I question how valuable that is. Like, would you just assume someone was rich and famous if they were at courtside at a basketball game?
Not anymore.
I would just think, well, yeah, you paid a lot of money, so you seem kind of desperate, so you can put this crap up on the internet. It almost seems like this is a business expense to you. Like you're trying to, make yourself look good. I guess you could get them and then take a picture of yourself and put it on a dating app, and then you would get laid constantly because people would know you have the power to get on the court.
Well, I'm telling you something right now, Fred. I'm looking at Melissa's reel on Instagram right now, and one of the videos she has posted are of bartenders juggling, and no one is on their phones. Melissa's the only one because everyone else is being held in rapt attention at the guy up on the bar juggling the shaker cups and doing stuff.
Call me when the yuppie poet comes out. Because that's the real scene. That's the scene stealer.
Just order a shot. That's the punchline.
Yeah. He comes out. He's got glasses and a briefcase.
Yeah.
He's a square. But those were the 80s when Wall Street and greed was taking over the clubs. It's where American Psycho. That was about that time. That was written about. All right. When we come back, would you like to win a big prize involving the Celtics and celebrate? It's a celebration. We'll announce it coming up in just a moment.
You're listening to Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Nashville scored 4 goals in the second period, and that effectively put the Bruins away in a 6-3 loss to the Predators last night. A bad night at the office for Marco Sturm.
I didn't like our mentality going in. It's always tough when the opponent missing or scratching guys. Seen it a lot of times before. It's not like we took it lightly, but they just, the guys who came in, they worked extremely hard, and they worked more than us, and that was the difference.
Charlie McAvoy and Victor Arvidsson had a goal and an assist apiece. The next game is tomorrow afternoon against the Washington Capitals at TD Garden. The NHL trade deadline arrives at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Capitals made a big move last night. They sent veteran defenseman John Carlson to Anaheim for a conditional first-round draft pick and a third. Columbus sent second and third round picks to Vancouver for forward Connor Garland. Celtics finally expected to welcome back Jason Tatum tonight. They played Dallas at TD Garden. Tatum was officially upgraded to questionable by the team yesterday, but the expectation is he will play. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots have signed former Arizona linebacker Jesse Luketa. They have reportedly met with former Cleveland starting left tackle Jedrick Wills. Buffalo made a big move yesterday. They sent a second-round pick to Chicago for DJ Moore in the 5th. Red Sox lost an exhibition game to Philadelphia 6-2. They'll play Detroit and Lakeland, Florida today. And at the World Baseball Classic, one game underway at this hour. Japan leads Chinese Taipei 13-0 in the 5th inning. The U.S. plays Brazil tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Rodenheiser Home Services. You could win a new high-efficiency gas furnace from Rodenheiser. If your furnace is 10 years or older, outdated and unreliable, go to Rodenheiser.com/5 free furnaces to enter. That's Rodenheiser.com/5 free furnaces. No purchase necessary. Rules online. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
My buddy and me.
With friends like these,
to climb up a tree.
you know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Dutcher and Hardy on the...
Hey, you're good. I love you. Every time that video is on, I don't even have to hear it.
Every time I play the feature and I forget that, it does sound like
Joyride is one of the truly awful hit songs of all time.
Roxette? Is that right?
Yeah. It was the guy was the Svengali. It was a guy and a girl. And they're very, very European.
Yes.
And almost Kraftwerk-like, but it's like if Kraftwerk sang, ladies and gentlemen. And do you like Kraftwerk? Am I offending anyone by saying that's another thing people pretend to like?
I didn't know that Kraftwerk didn't sing.
That makes two of us.
No.
Oh, I was completely unaware of Kraftwerk during the entire time that they were a band. I'm not pretending to know anything about them. They just were sampled a lot, and then through hip hop, I learned that these early DJs were super into Kraftwerk because Kraftwerk was electric music that was easily sampled.
Okay.
And then you hear everyone, every post 1975 band, David Bowie, all these guys are Kraftwerk was so influential to us. Kraftwerk. And then you listen to it and you're like, this is terrible. Adam, do you like Kraftwerk?
No, I mean, whatever. I don't really have an opinion on them. I understand that they're influential. I don't think I've ever listened to a Kraftwerk album. No.
Yeah, and neither do I. And that is the true test of, I think, that they're not very good, is that I don't even think I could listen all the way through to a song. They're interesting to see performing.
Sure.
Because they look like robots. They all have the same haircut.
Mm-hmm.
They're all lined up behind sampling machines or whatever the hell they are, keyboards of some sort.
Synthesizers, that type of stuff. Yeah.
But the Roxette.
Yeah, I mean,
Sylvester Stallone.
From Cobra.
Well, he cast her in Cobra after this.
Oh.
They were at a hotel, and Brigitte Nielsen sent. Stallone claims a full size, but let's just say probably a large picture of herself nude.
Huh.
And Stallone was like, "Hello." Because Brigitte Nielsen's body back in the day was insane.
I remember. I don't know what magazine it was from, but it was one of the ones that it was one of the ones I held on to, and they were black and white, nice photographs of nude Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah,
and they were something.
Until she got with Flavor Flav, and that was her resurrection when she was on that show with him.
Roxette Swedish. That's just a different kind of Nazi.
You're a fool.
Really? Oh, Sweden?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I learned that from watching the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh.
It's rotten with Nazis in Sweden.
Really?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I was like, where's he going with this? Okay. Yep.
I did not know that. You fool.
Yeah.
I love you.
Who's the fool now?
She said, hello, fool. I love you. Now come on and get in Joyride. We're going to thump around town with the Joyride.
What's that music? Time for Down Count we used to play. Sounds like that.
Oh, yeah, but that's a deliberate joke.
No, I know that, but that's what it sounds like.
I know, but it's not funny when it's like on purpose.
No, I get it. It just I'm just saying that's
that was
always
always disappointing when those were songs when the songs were on purposely bad, and you're like,
got it.
Like they're making fun of the whole thing. Roxette was a hit.
Yes, that was one of their 2 hits, right? They had
Dress for Success. Was that the other one?
No, The Look. That's what it is.
You got the look.
Yeah.
It makes a brown-eyed boy turn blue.
That's it.
Everything I ever do, I do for you. All right. So if you follow us on social media, we actually had management come to them and they said, every comment on this has been positive, and which is they were actually very surprised by. And I also like that management is going through the comments on things. That's very exciting.
Bosses, they're just like us.
Yeah.
It's got to like People
really
Magazine.
Get the pulse of the people.
It's not healthy either way.
Look, I mean, I'm not on Twitter. I do look at comments on Instagram, but the great joy of Blind Scott is he's made it so I just assume they're all from him, so I don't even look at them anymore. I'll see some of them. Because Adam told me for the algorithm, you got to like stuff, and like if you talk to a couple people,
Yeah, make a couple. You make reply to a couple of comments. It helps.
Because Kendra tagged me. Kendra's the only person I think any of us know that's super involved with social media, and like the thing that she put up about like Adam's her favorite or whatever, she had like tagged me, and so I saw that she had tagged me. It said in my messages, I sound very old because I am, and it said in my messages that she tagged me. And so she saw it, and then I saw that like she had responded to like 100 of these things. But I guess that's the way to get more people to the algorithm to like pump it out more.
That's why it's a full-time job for people like her. Like you just got to stay. If you're not creating or posting content, you got to be commenting on the content you made. And
see, I just erase all the negative ones.
hide,
and then block them.
Block.
My son has to have a Twitter page. Because of baseball, like that you have to have one for recruiting. I guess you don't need an Instagram. He took his down, and
does he put God Family Baseball?
We always joke about that. Like when he commits somewhere, that he's going to be like, oh yeah, there's something about like blessed to be like like every kid does the same thing. We always joke about that. So, but someone on his Twitter page, like he just put up like some bullpen, and it's not me. Like I don't have Twitter. I didn't share it. It's nothing that I did. And like there's some like adult crapping on him. Like what, you think this is good? And he read it to me, and I'm like, this is something. I don't think that has anything to do with the show. I just think someone was going around and saw a kid throw a baseball and was like, this isn't good. I'm going to comment on it. Which is so insane. Like, it's so insane. That's insane. It's almost like pedophilic. Like, it really is. Like, it's all like, leave kids alone, right? Like, just leave them alone. Like, don't communicate with kids you don't know at any level, at any time. Unless you're like a teacher or a scout leader or a coach, don't talk to kids you don't know. Unless they're friends with your kids, don't talk to kids. Don't go up to kids and start talking to them. Like, you effing weirdo.
I won't even like posts that my because the kids, I don't know if yours do this, John, or yours, Fred, but it's like, did you see my thing on Instagram? Will you like it? I'm like, No, because you tagged some of your other friends in it, and then I get seen as somebody who liked to post with another kid in it. No, I'm not.
Yeah, like we've had that exact conversation.
Yeah.
One of my kids and I. I can't do this. It's fine, whatever, but
I'll look at it.
I'm staying away from this.
But unless
Yep.
it's just you saying something and it's just a picture of you, I'm not
Absolutely.
engaging with this at all.
I did it one time because our best family friend is going to one of their kids is going to Rollins where I went. And so, like, it was like they put something like that she had committed to Rollins, so I shared it in the story because she got a kick out of it. That's my excuse for that one. But just don't, like, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm telling you, it makes me think the guy's a pedophile. Like, you're going around, like, looking at kids, and my son's 17, whatever, he can handle himself. But, like, I mean, it's just everyone's just such a weirdo. And I would have understood if it was the show, but I'm not on Twitter. I can't, and it's not something that you can, like, look up my name and he's going to show up. It's very strange. Anyway.
Continue.
Well, on the subject that we've just been talking about, because look,
it's all connected.
It's not very long, and it's got to go to 20. All right, so here's the deal. Hardy had the Fuppets for Felger and Maz, and it was a big success. But of course, then he started working for our show. Hardy approached me probably about close to a year ago, and he said, "I'm thinking about making puppets for this show." I said, "That's a great idea. I love the Fuppet stuff that you did." Hardy handled all of it. He showed me pictures of the puppets that were being created. I had one suggestion, and it was for John, and then, which I'm sure John's very excited about. And then we paid for them, and then they came, and Hardy made the first Thuppets video was up at Toucher and Hardy, and not many people can do this, to the point where Hardy had someone reach. He wouldn't tell this on the air because he's patting himself on the back, but someone reached out to him that was in radio in Vegas, and they were like, "What program did you use for that? In that, like, what AI program did you use for that?" And Hardy's like, do you think he really thought it was AI? And I'm like, no, he knew it wasn't AI. He just wanted it to be AI so he could do it. Because I have an idea of how hard it is, and it's very hard. And Hardy has a very unique, maybe the only guy in radio that could do something like this. So I was very proud, and I thought it was very funny. So we're looking to put like one of those up a month. And we wanted to get the audience involved. So to celebrate the debut of the Toucher and Hardy Thuppets on the Sports Hub, we're inviting you to make a bit of a sport of us, a little fun of us. We want you to submit a song about a member of the show. Send your fully produced song to adam12@bbgi.com. Don't worry about what BBGI means. It's a whole thing. It's one of his little organizations.
No, then it would be .org.
That's right. Adam12@bbgi.com. No AI. Speaking of AI, Adam will know. Anyone who submits will get a link back to enter to win tickets to a Celtics first round playoff game at the TD Garden. All songs will get played on the air that we choose to play on the air. And so not every submission will get played on the air. And the show will choose a grand prize winner who will take home the tickets and have their song featured in a future Thuppets video. So basically what we're looking for is that there's this new brand of Thuppets, these puppets. We're looking for a theme song for the individual ones. Now, there's 4 of them. There's Hardy, there's me, there's Wallach, and there's Nick. Everything has to be under a minute. You make and it's a song like introducing them. So to someone who didn't know that person, you are introducing them. Now, it's only one puppet a person. So if you are making a song, make one song and make that song about the particular person. Would you like them to be cruel? Perhaps. Funny cruel, though.
Yeah, right.
Not just, dead cruel. But we're looking for funny things that we can play on the show.
The more specific, the better. Informed viciousness is my favorite type. So that's where you probably need to be thinking of this. But brevity is important too.
Yes.
Don't be sending along a 3-minute, song that ready for pop radio. You think more of like a theme song, almost like sitcom style intro music.
Yeah, a minute or less, and I would err on the side of less.
Yes.
A minute or less, I'd err on the side of less. Anything over a minute generally is not funny anymore. Like, the idea gets old. Now, do production skills matter? Not necessarily. I mean, it could be a very poor karaoke version of something, but if the lyrics are very funny, that almost makes it funnier.
Yep.
So this isn't some Steve Albini situation where you got to be able to press the right buttons and do the right levers.
We're not looking for Phil Spector Wall of Sound.
No, we are looking for funny stuff, like funny. So again, it's a 60-second or less. Again, err on the side of less. About Wallach, Hardy, Nick, or I. You can see what the puppets look like at Toucher and Hardy in a video from not so long ago. And what will happen is we'll pick a winner. You'll get those Celtics playoff tickets, and then Hardy will make a video of involving your song. One video. And that's that. But not bad. You get Celtics playoff tickets. We're going to play the songs on the air. You'll be part of a video that goes out to a lot of people. They can link your name, so on and so forth. It should be fun. More than anything, it should be good content. Has this ever been done before? Of course, but not with puppets. I mean, I've done contests like this before. I'm sure Hardy's done contests like this before. But the listeners, this show's been on long enough, and listeners have been contributing a great deal into things that we end up using on the air. We even made an email segment because oftentimes the emails are so good, so we want to give you an opportunity to help be creative in the show. So theme songs for the puppets, Wallach, Hardy, Nick, and I, Fred Toucher. You make a under 60-second song. You send it to adam12@bbgi.com. We'll sort through them. We'll play a lot of them on the air. And then we will ultimately pick a winner. You will get Celtics tickets to a playoff game. They're making the playoffs, so you'll get a home playoff game. And then Hardy will make a video featuring your song. And then the creativity for that is wide open because it could be it's like a theme song. So it could be like 227. They could just be sitting on a stoop,
I mean, it's going to have a lot to do with the song, but the possibilities are practically endless.
You could do an Andy Griffith.
That's the way to get Hardy's vote right there.
Walking down like by a lake.
Oh, man.
So if you did use a TV theme, you could, then, the video could be of that. But, like, if it's about me, like, you're a huge drunk with no chin, you are an idiot, like, blah, blah, blah. Do whatever you want. Things like that. Mm-hmm. Small penis, thick legs.
Oh.
All these things.
Oh.
I'm saying it before they can.
That one either.
Smart man.
This one.
That idea's been taken.
Yeah, you can't use it. So you can't use any of those. Anything I say, you can't use. So there you go. You're divorced, all these things. See, I'm just using myself as an example. There's plenty of stuff about all of us that to me make fun of. If you attack family members and things of that nature, they're not going to get played. But I think the audience is hip to that. It's fun, but they can be funny mean. Funny mean. So there you go. Adam12@bbgi.com. Get those in. That should be a lot of fun. We'll reiterate this, but this is the longest time we'll ever talk about it. But we'll try to get some of those submissions in. Maybe next week we can start playing some of them. We appreciate it. We'll be back in just a moment. Lot of moves in the NFL as we get towards that 4 o'clock Monday free agency tampering period. We will have that for you in just a moment. a band goes 2, 3, 4, like in the middle of a song.
Big Count-In fan.
Big count, but not at the beginning.
No.
Unless it's Fear when he goes 1, 2, FU.
Yeah.
Saw a picture of Lee Ving singing in front of a band very recently. He's 97 years old. He had a music stand with the lyrics in front of him. It was hardcore to the edge.
Nice. What about Tenacious D and Rock Your Socks Off when he counts it off? 1, 2, 3, 4,
What are you gonna
5,
do with
6,
them?
6, 6.
Yes.
What are you going to do with them socks? You rocked them off. Now you're just going to throw them away? All right. So the 4 p.m. on Monday is the legal tampering period. And then so right at 4 p.m. on Monday, they'll announce a bunch of big free agency signings. And remember, the Diggs one didn't happen right away to my recollection, right? That wasn't the day. That wasn't a Monday signing, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so.
I'm almost positive, but again, I'm positive about a lot of things now that I remember
It's
incorrectly.
weird because there's that 48-hour window. Like, it's free agency starts, and it can happen the next day or during the legal tampering period. Say the tampering period starts at noon. Some stuff gets announced at 12:05. Some stuff gets announced the next day at 3 o'clock. I'm trying to remember when the Diggs thing was exactly, and I don't think it was right after.
Well, I mean, obviously teams are getting deals done now, and then it's 4. I mean, I think that it's 4 p.m. on Monday, correct?
It's noon Monday, 4 p.m. Wednesday is when all deals become official.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so noon Monday. Okay, so I think the reason that they make it, I'm sorry, I've been saying 4, but you can see my confusion. Noon Monday, and the league does it. It's very smart. So you have this like spastic, like it's like another day of NFL, right? Like it's this spastic announcements, and it's fun. I mean, it is. It's like the trade deadline in baseball used to be. When people cared about these matters, it used to be like a lot of fun. But so that will be happening on Monday, and we'll find out, what big free agents that the Patriots land, because I'm sure they're going to do something. But trades can happen now. They cannot become official, but they can happen now.
It's noon Tuesday. It's the 10th, noon Tuesday. Free agency begins Thursday. So we show up here on Monday. And
Legal tampering.
Legal tampering is noon on Tuesday. My mistake. Sorry.
Well, we're all wrong.
I know.
Thank God we have guys like Adam Schefter to get inside and give us the juicy details on moves like DJ Moore to the Bills. Chef?
The Buffalo Bills have been looking for a big-name, high-profile wide receiver, and they landed one today from the Chicago Bears in return for their second-round draft pick. The Bills get a fifth-round draft pick and DJ Moore to step in and become the newest target for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
All good stuff.
Yeah, it's thank you for breaking that.
And by the way, just in stark contrast to this, Beaton pointed this out. Rap sheet was this on TikTok? He put this out like just some post.
Instagram.
Why don't you just pay the Chinese government? Go ahead.
So Ian Rappaport instead decides to go a different route with something that is actually could be considered newsworthy and a bit of information that you otherwise wouldn't have.
So this certainly seems like it's going to be the Patriots or the Eagles for A.J. Brown, with an answer likely coming pretty soon.
That's it.
Perfect.
That was the entire pulse.
You got what you wanted. You got the information, and it took 6 seconds.
Wait, it's going to be Philadelphia or the Patriots?
Yes.
He's either going to stay where he is or he's going to get traded to the Patriots. No other teams involved.
The Eagles.
I don't think that's true.
Well, the Eagles don't want to trade him to any NFC team. The Ravens were reportedly in and now are reportedly out.
Oh, well, they must be asking for a lot, because we'll get to the Bills trade now. DJ Moore and a fifth-round pick for a second-round pick. They've guaranteed Moore's 2028 salary, which is a lot. So Moore's he signed a $27.5 million average per year extension. The Bills will be taking $90 million over 4 years. The guarantees are $40 million, 2 years at $6.5 million, or 3 at $73.35 million. The Bills gave up. So basically, the Bills are in for a tremendous amount of money. And I read that they guaranteed the last year of the contract. So they're in on DJ Moore. Now, the new coach there in Buffalo had Moore and apparently loves him. But I'll ask you this, John.
Yes.
Because you're a Patriots fan.
Yes.
The Patriots gave up a second-round pick for a fifth-rounder in DJ Moore. Would you like that? And guaranteed that money coming up.
No, that's the part I don't like. I like DJ Moore on my roster, but that's a lot of money to guarantee.
Well, I mean, if we're speculating that Brown would go for a second-round pick, this is a huge overpay. DJ Moore is not very good anymore. When the Bears acquired DJ Moore in that terrible trade that they made, that was like the height. He didn't have a very good year last year on a good offense.
Well, yeah, his targets were way down. His effectiveness is being hampered. And I would say by the presence of some young receivers. Now, you've got different quarterbacks, obviously, between Caleb Williams and Drake May and what they're capable of and, maybe what their proclivities are in terms of targets. But you would think that Caleb Williams would have been able to make the most of DJ Moore. They're chalking it up to him having other younger, more attractive options in terms of targets, Adunze or whoever else he could throw to.
Let's go through. They drafted Adunze high. They drafted Loveland high. They drafted Burden.
Second round. Yeah.
So, they had more during all of that, and they chose to use high-ass picks on receiving targets. That doesn't speak to me of I have a pure number one and here we go.
It's more desperation on the Buffalo end, obviously. The reason I would want him here on the Patriots kind of speaks to the wide receiver room in general. I'm not despite
saying,
all of that, he's better than what you have.
Yeah, well, yes, everyone is. Pretty much. Yes. But now that you got rid of Diggs, everyone's better than Booty could be a decent receiver, but other than that, I mean, unless this white kid that everyone got mad at me about.
Efton Chisholm.
Yeah, he starts shining. I already forgot his name. And
it's a lot of conversation convincing yourself beyond Booty that it's it could be Kyle Williams. Pop Douglas is an interesting slot option. They're all
saying that for a long time.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I say it's a lot of conversation about these guys. There isn't a clear-cut favorite other than Booty, I would say, to be the guy that could emerge, and that still doesn't change the fact that you need a real number one. You still need one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can see what John is saying. At least you would have that sewn up, but it's not the best option. I don't think that Buffalo is jumping up and down. Maybe the coach, and maybe some of the coaching staff because of their experience with DJ Moore. But if you're a fan of the Buffalo Bills, is this the answer to your prayers?
No. I'd rather draft a kid if I was Buffalo. DJ Moore's not very good, and they gave up a second-round pick where you might have been able to get an equivalent receiver to Moore. And not owe him 3 years of a huge contract. And that's a team that's paying a quarterback right now. And Caleb Williams and Drake May don't close the book on who ends up being the better quarterback as their careers go by.
I agree with you.
Yeah. No, yeah, but
he had a rough start to this season, but he showed you things, and we talked about them in the immediate aftermath. His ability to make some throws that it's not that Drake May can't do them. Caleb Williams was making some plays last year that I think maybe one or two other guys in the league could make right now. And if he gets better, then he's going to be a unique talent for his time when he's playing.
My money's on Drake May, but I don't think the talent differential between them necessarily speaks that they're going to have these vastly different careers. Caleb Williams is going to be end up being a journeyman Justin Fields type, and May will be this MVP guy. I think May will be an MVP guy, but I think Caleb Williams would probably be in that conversation too. Yes,
I think ultimately bringing it back to the Patriots and whether you want to face DJ Moore or have DJ Moore. DJ Moore is not the end all be all. We just went through all of that. It smacks of desperation. Joe Brady liking the player, and I'm thinking about this. He must have had a conversation with Josh Allen, and Allen's like, "I want that guy. Go get him."
Brady had more though. I think Brady wanted him. That's the thing.
No, I read the same thing you did, but the end, it does seem like an overpay. Especially picking up that contract. And it also speaks volumes about what may or may not be available for anybody, either in the draft or through free agency. Alec Pierce is your best option in free agency. Well, DJ Moore's more than likely better than that guy, so let's go get that guy.
DJ Moore's a more reliable receiver than Pierce. He catches way more balls. Everyone does. But I don't think the draft is lacking in receiver talent. If you would like to know what ESPN said the trade comp should have been, ESPN's trade pick values would consider a late third-round pick to get DJ Moore.
Oh.
So according to ESPN's model, it's a huge overpay. Buffalo really seems to be scuffling here. They seem to really be not being able to get out of their own way. Well, they fire their coach. They pretend that they say that they did it because the locker room was crying, which was a lie. Obviously, this had been in works for a long time. I don't like, if I'm a Buffalo fan, that there was a game they should have won in Denver, and you're conceivably in the background, you had owners going to the offensive coordinator, by the way, if we lose, you're the coach. You have to assume that happened. They announced it almost like right away and had like the contract done. Then this guy comes in and he starts scrambling around, giving up second-round picks for like also ran receivers.
There was some time. There was some time between Peyton being fired and them naming the new coach.
But remember when we played the audio of them bringing on Brady, and we were like, "This can't be true," because it was so soon after the game. They.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. No, but the firing of the firing happened quickly, and I firmly believe, because Callahan had said it when he was in here, like, that day or the next day, he's like, oh, they're just going to elevate. They're going to hire from within.
Because remember, we played the audio of them firing the coach, and then we were like, this is so stupid. Like, he wasn't going to do it, and then he saw the locker room, and they were crying, and this made him do it. And then a couple days later, they hired Brady, or whatever it was, a week later.
Yeah,
and
you're like, they went through the charade,
and they went through the, and they knew they were going to hire Brady. So that makes me think that was in the works all along, and it just seems like they have the quarterback, and now they're just scuffling and trying any way to piece anything together. And then in another trade, the Rams, who've taken, I believe they've used one first-round pick in like the last 7 years.
It's Jared Verse. Yeah, I read that.
They traded for Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs, who are in a rebuild. They're trying to protect Mahomes. They're really working to protect Mahomes. The Rams gave up the first pick this year, which is just the 29th, the 5th round, the 6th round, and a 3rd round for McDuffie. So the Rams
are all in on getting Matthew Stafford one more championship.
Yes. Not drafting his replacement.
Everybody expects that whenever Stafford moves on, there's a decent chance that Sean McVay moves on. You could get a player at either of those first-round picks, could be the difference of you hoisting a Lombardi trophy or not. I can't wrap my brain around Sean McVay stamping that and saying, yeah, let's get a quarterback for the future. Oh, by the way, he's not going to be anywhere close to as talented as Stafford, and I might not even be here to coach him because I might be going and doing television at that point in time.
But they're saying that with that first pick, they would have taken Ty Simpson?
I don't know.
Why would the Rams have taken Ty Simpson?
Ask Dan Jeremiah.
I have no idea. That makes no sense at all in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
We have a guy that had epidurals to be able to get on the field before last season. We, were the favorite to go to the Super Bowl throughout the playoffs until we lost. Mm-hmm. Let's get the quarterback of the future late in the first round. That makes a lot of sense.
Why is your guy retiring? No.
If I was McVay and I was coaching for another 20 years, I would take a piece to help now. And look at the Rams have flown in the face of the idea that you need to build through the draft, but they have drafted exceptionally well outside of the first round.
Yes.
Now you can't discount that. You can't say that they have not used the draft. They have drafted exceptionally well outside of the first round.
Where'd they get Nakua? The 5th?
Yeah,
round,
like they have a bunch of star players that weren't high picks. So, look, they've sacrificed a lot. They've gotten one Super Bowl, but they've been competitive for a long time. And did you know they had to attach a pick to Goff in the Stafford trade?
Yep.
Because to get Detroit to take Goff's money, they had to attach an additional pick onto it.
I don't remember that. That's
no,
funny.
I didn't know. I didn't even know that until I read it. Because it was the whole thing about the Rams not using their first-round picks, and it was like when they made the trade for Stafford, they had to attach an additional fairly high pick to Goff in order for the Lions to take on Goff's contract.
Yeah, that hasn't happened a lot.
It's the tale of two teams. The Rams got Stafford, and they won a Super Bowl. the Lions traded Stafford, got those picks, drafted extremely well, and now, they made it to an NFC championship game. They had the best record in football 2 years ago. They haven't won a Super Bowl. That's on them. But it just shows you the dichotomy. Like, if you make a big trade and you draft well, that gets you there. But if you get the quarterback, that happens as well. I'm not overly familiar with Trent McDuffie. That didn't blow me away.
McDuffie's one of the better cornerbacks in the league.
Is he top 5?
He was a All-Pro first team 2 years ago, an All-Pro second team. 3 years ago, an All-Pro second team 2 years ago.
Okay, there you go, Trent McDuffie. So big moves happening as we speak. Maybe the Patriots will trade for A.J. Brown. Maybe we'll just take the first-round pick. Who knows? All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins lost in Nashville last night 6-3. Their next game tomorrow afternoon at home against the Washington Capitals. But first, the NHL's trade deadline. That arrives at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Celtics will have Jason Tatum tonight. That is the news. They upgraded him to questionable for their home game against Dallas. According to ESPN, the expectation is he's going to play. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots yesterday signed former Arizona linebacker Jesse Luketa. Red Sox lost an exhibition game to Philadelphia 6-2. They'll play Detroit and Lakeland, Florida today. And at the World Baseball Classic, one game underway. Japan leads Chinese Taipei 13-0 in the 7th inning. The U.S. plays Brazil tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. If you're experiencing property damage from ice dams, roof leaks, or burst pipes, our guys at Blue Sky are ready to respond 24/7. So visit goblusky.com, restoring your property and your life for a brighter tomorrow. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
can win, you haven't much to lose.
We are Toucher and Hardy, and today, John said that today was going to be the day Jason Tatum comes back, and you can get tonight if you go to the game when Jason Tatum does come back. You will get a white Celtics shirt with the clover Celtics. It says Amica on top, or as some people, as they do the read, say Amiker. I remember Jerry Remy was a big Amica insurance guy.
Oh, yeah.
And back to zero, it says on the sleeve, and on the back, as we've discussed, it says Beaver Hunt, because they said if Atlanta is going to do the Magic City night, we are going to have our own Beaver Hunt night.
Sure.
By the way, the Atlanta enjoying this publicity over the controversy over Magic City night have made a major announcement that there will be no nudity.
Oh,
in case you were wondering.
That's too bad.
That was actually a major announcement yesterday that they said, don't worry, there won't be any nudity, as if that was on the table. So that's going on. But, John, your predictions have rang true, and Jason Tatum is coming back this evening. Finally, the documentary comes to an end. We finally have our climax.
I don't know. I don't think they ran enough episodes to get it done. I think there's still a couple left now. They could release them back-to-back leading up to game time.
No.
This is a bad job by everyone in this room, but me and Fred specifically. These are not long episodes. We could have very easily sat through these things, Fred, and consumed them and been invested in the culmination of the series. Instead, we've left it to John, who he himself has not sat through each and every 3-minute episode.
Well, I sat through the first one.
Well, John not watching it is exactly my point on the thing. And this is a compliment to John. John watches every Celtics game now. Why? It's a little sad in case he gets called to call one, but he loves the Celtics. When he explained to me why he wanted the Celtics radio gig, I absolutely understood it. You know, this is what he grew up wanting to do.
Did you get a little misty when he was explaining it to you?
You know, I have an inability to cry.
That's right.
And so, but you know, John watches every game. He's the biggest Celtic fan as anyone could possibly be, next to Simmons. He hasn't written a 700-page book about it, but he hasn't watched this. And by the way, I hate to spoil the ending, but it's tonight. Like, you know, documentaries usually not so great when nothing happens in it that you're unaware of. Like, we know the whole process. Nothing is shrouded in secrecy.
Out of the handful of moments I've seen, the one of them was him standing in the gym watching others play basketball.
So unless the first doctor was drunk and screwed up, that would be an interesting investigation into the doctor's problem with alcohol. Short of that, I'm pretty certain what the story was. And I have heard people attack Tatum for being a pussy about being upset that and talking to his mom about his Achilles being ruptured. You're insane. Like, you rupture your Achilles and you're a professional athlete. If you're an amateur athlete, you're losing a year of your career. It's quite devastating.
Well,
people are like, well, it's not like he got cancer. Well, yeah, he didn't get cancer.
You can relate to
something
that
else bad happened.
Better than anyone, though, as an only child who still talks to his mommy 5 times a week.
Yes, I'm one of those people who talks to their mother. Yes, and 5 times a week is accurate. I talk to my mother 5 days a week.
I know it's a little strange, John.
I talk to my mother twice a week.
Once a week for me.
Yeah,
once a week.
How often do you talk to your mother?
I'd say, I would say once a week, but sometimes that weekly call happens between her and Marcy.
No, really?
Well, there's no Marcy
without
in
getting
my
online.
life.
Well, wow.
There's no Marcy in my life. I can tell you how many times. I talked to her on Tuesday. That was the last time I've talked to my mother.
Oh, well, I did speak to my mother yesterday because Katie needs a video of her from when she was a toddler. I have no idea how to access these videos. They're on an old computer. I did a very poor job of transferring over all the files. I don't know how to get them. I said, I know what. I'll call my mom. My mom will have them. She immediately sent me back 4 still photographs of 2 kids that are not mine.
Oh. That's problematic.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
That was just an example of photography.
Bang up job. Yes, this is almost what I want. A, I don't want both kids. It just has to be Katie. B, not a still, a video, and it has to be, this is sneaky sticking point. It has to be Katie.
Yeah.
Not someone else's kids.
Now, good for you. That is a child. You got that part of the assignment right. Yeah.
But Fred, you and I could have, we could have been watching this Jason Tatum stuff. Instead, Fred and I both at the same time yesterday were, instead of watching Jason Tatum videos, watching the very lackluster Seinfeld where Kramer goes to Los Angeles. And the follow-up episode and texting each other about the folly of trying to have an on-location, almost Brady Bunch goes to Hawaii episodes of Seinfeld.
Yeah, I was watching Seinfeld yesterday, and it was one of the ones where Kramer gets accused of being the serial killer in Los Angeles, which I just find to be more depressing than anything else. And because Kramer's like unhappy.
Yeah.
And so I texted Hardy and I was like, by the way, these LA episodes are on. Don't even bother. They're garbage. And Hardy texted me, he goes, I know they're on. I'm watching it too.
No.
And I said,
And we could have been watching Jason Tatum's documentary.
yeah. But I know more almost that what happens in the Jason Tatum documentary that I haven't seen that in the Seinfeld episodes that I've seen 6 times. At least some jokes probably got by me or I forgot them.
So Jason Tatum tonight, probably on a minutes restriction. Who knows if he's going to start yet?
Well, he's a pussy if he doesn't play the whole game.
That's the thing. You got to temper expectations here. Not only at the start, but as we move along here. He's not going to play in back-to-backs.
34 minutes.
No, I don't think so.
It'd be funny if no one cheered. That would just be the funniest thing. If they had this whole documentary planned out, like of this ravenous home crowd bringing him back, and then it was just like relative, like a polite applause.
Or if none of it makes it on TV, the Bernie and Phil's commercial runs long.
That's always a danger.
Miss his introduction.
I'm not so worried about Phil's. It's Bernie who just can't seem to keep his trap shut.
Doesn't he have to start though in order to be announced?
He does, but I would imagine you'll get just as large an applause if he's the first guy off the bench. And then you sub him out solo. You get another standing
I think he's
doesn't
going
make
to start.
for good TV.
Okay.
I definitely think he's going to start. I don't think there's a doubt he's going to start.
But, yeah, not only will he start, but they'll make him a solo substitution as well. You know, so Peyton Pritchard checking in for number 0, Jason Tatum. He gets a huge pop on the way out.
I don't think he'll play a lot, but
No.
he'll definitely start so they can do the introductions and go through the whole thing.
Get him out there for 3 minutes. Or
but I'll read about it on Saturday. Don't worry. I'll be informed when I come in on Monday.
It'll be like a Bruins shift. And be out there and go up and down the court
30 seconds.
3 times.
And then just jump up and down and shake his fist. Hooray! All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Skip Bayless. He's got a new show, in quotations, that is tackling all the issues. We'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. Headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins lost in Nashville last night 6-3. Matthew Wood scored twice for the Predators, and Philip Forsberg added a goal and 2 assists. Marco Sturm's defense had a bad evening in general.
That's not our game to play 6 goals against game, especially a big game like today. That just can't happen.
Bruins lead is now down to 1 point for the final playoff spot in the East. The NHL's trade deadline arrives at 3 p.m. this afternoon. The Bruins' next game is tomorrow afternoon at home against the Washington Capitals. Caps made a surprise move overnight. They sent perhaps their best defenseman ever, John Carlson, to Anaheim. They got a conditional first-round draft pick and a third-rounder. Columbus is right behind the Bruins in the race for a playoff spot. They shipped second and third-round picks to Vancouver overnight for forward Connor Garland. Celtics play Dallas at TD Garden tonight. Jason Tatum is now expected to play his first game of the season in this one. He was upgraded to questionable by the team early yesterday. Grandy and Max had the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots had signed former Arizona linebacker Jesse Luketa. Buffalo made a big trade. They sent a second-round pick to Chicago for wide receiver DJ Moore in the 5th. Red Sox lost an exhibition game to Philadelphia 6-2. And at the World Baseball Classic, Japan beat Chinese Taipei this morning 13-0. Shohei Ohtani had 3 hits, including a grand slam and 5 RBIs. The U.S. opens up with Brazil tonight in Houston. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by 128 Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, the company that finishes every job strong. If your home or business has a plumbing, HVAC, electrical, or drain issue that can't wait, you need to call 128 now at 888-CALL-128. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
The Sports Hub. 3 legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
And it's a replacement.
Wow. Alex Chilton, yes.
Yeah.
You know who Alex Chilton was?
No. Should I have?
Leader of a band called Big Star, who I'm not a huge fan of, but what do I know?
Very influential band.
Very influential.
More fan of the bands that that Big Star influenced than actual Big Star.
Yeah. Like this song, Alex Chilton, is better than anything that Alex Chilton ever wrote, in my opinion.
Wow.
13. 13 is a fantastic song.
See, the lyrics are fantastic. I don't know if I love that song so much. The theme to the 70s show is a Big Star song, right? To hanging out on the street, the same old thing we did last week.
No, I think that's Cheap Trick, didn't Cheap Trick write the intro to
I think that might be
show?
Big Star, but I could be wrong. And I probably am wrong, as a matter of fact. I'm in well over my head at this point. I'm not a big
You really
Star
dug
fan.
yourself a hole. That 70s show theme song is titled In the Street, originally written by Alex Chilton and Chris Bell of the band Big Star.
All right.
Why don't you take a victory lap there, Fred?
I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now.
You should.
These 3 hours of sleep are kicking in nice. All right, so Skip Bayless. Now, you by the way, you watch us on YouTube, but and subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub. That helps us. So let me put this in context very quickly, and I do mean quickly. Skip Bayless was a huge cable debate personality, like at the very genesis of debate shows on cable. And there was a profile on him that I thought was hysterical, that he lived in like a city, but then he would go out to Bristol for 5 days a week. Before he went to Bristol, he'd get broccoli and chicken with no sauce, load the refrigerator with it, and live this nomastic life. Or is it nomastic?
Nomadic.
Monastic.
Monastic.
Oh.
This monastic lifestyle where he ate the same thing, he wore the same, like he just was, and the whole thing was,
It's like Einstein. He had 5 of the same outfits, so he wouldn't have to spend any extra mental energy thinking about what to wear.
That's exactly what he was saying. He's like, I have only so much bandwidth. It all has to be to yell about sports for an hour and a half. Get out of here, stupid, with your lying about your. By the way, he's the guy who said Aikman's gay.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand how that didn't cost him anything.
The funniest part
Aikman has to run around for the rest of his life denying that he's gay. Not that there's a problem with being gay, but if you're not gay and you don't want people to think you're gay, Bayless said this whole thing that Aikman's gay, and it just kind of Boy, if I was Aikman, would I hate Bayless. That's almost as bad as like the gerbil thing with Richard Gere or the
Rod
pumping the
Stewart.
stomach of Rod Stewart, who was the ex-publicist, made that up. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, he did all of this. Skip Bayless would do all of this, and he'd show up to the studio like 3 hours early for his show. Stephen A. Smith, meanwhile, would roll in like 15 minutes before.
Because it's
slapped him.
ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing. And Skip Bayless lost his mind because they were paying Stephen A. more. And he's like, why are you paying
Because
this guy
he was
more?
better.
We're exactly right.
Because it's study all week. If you're not good on TV, you're not good on TV. There's
All
no
of that-
studying.
all that stuff he did.
It's the same thing with stupid radio.
Well, it's the
you're no good on the air. Stop it.
It's the wrong. It was the wrong format for him. He has finally found the right format.
Welcome to the hottest new show going right now.
It is the hottest new show going right now. Skip and Ernestine.
So Ernestine is apparently Skip's wife, and if I could hypothesize, it seems like she caught Skip in the middle of effing some lady, and now is in charge of this relationship because you've reviewed these. The Ernestine seems to be the king.
Nothing but validation for that theory in the clips we're about to listen to.
And so I'm giving Skip Bayless the benefit of the doubt that he was like a cat, like he was going around town and then he got caught. But who knows? I don't know any of that to be true. But the way this is it's the two of them sitting on a couch, pontificating on the issues of the day.
And they're going to start off with talking about Olympic hockey, which Skip had already tweeted about, saying, hey, NHL, you paying attention to this? 3-on-3 overtime is really the best way of doing things.
Which is wrong, obviously, because NHL already does it. And two, who liked that? It was good. Who thought, what a game. Let's end it in this stupid
Let's end it in
cartoonish
a
way.
minute and a half.
Yeah, like, Lord, please don't play any more hockey. All right, here we go.
Somehow, the men's and women's U.S. hockey teams have become political. Who knew?
That's true.
What do you make of this new quote-unquote controversy? Okay, so...
What's going on in the background?
Somebody scratching somebody's back? What is that?
Ernestine is petting a dog.
They're stealing 60 Minutes, the whole thing.
Controversy.
Remember when Wallace sat down with the Ayatollah? He had a German Shepherd. He was just rubbing the entire time, gentle as a field mouse.
Controversy.
Controversy.
Ernestine, you go first,
yeah.
so you'll stay married to me and not take my money.
Here we go.
We're harking back a week or so, but obviously one of our victorious women hockey players called President Trump's comment.
Are you sure she's petting the dog?
Doesn't sound that way.
Sounds like maybe there'd be some animal husbandry activity going on.
Awful. Aggressive pet.
To the men's team, distasteful. And this was during the congratulatory phone call made soon after gold had been won by the men.
I don't think that they were supposed to be hearing that. It was a joke.
Okay, but it was just a taped phone call.
Right.
And he was calling from wherever he was, inviting them, the men's team, to the White House, and made what obviously was a completely unnecessary and bad joke,
Yeah.
given our climate, saying, well, I'm going to have to also invite the women's team.
Right.
If I don't, I'll get impeached.
Well, that is quite an opinion. If opinion means saying nothing other than what happened, his opinion is that it was a tasteless joke.
Yeah.
All right. So
Remember, this is the...
Welcome to the hottest new show going right now.
All right. So Ernestine is did not contribute to this one. Now, Hardy, what are they talking about here?
Next up, they're talking about relationships and their relationships specifically.
Now, remember, Ernestine has a what do you call it when you're allowed to like a list of people you're allowed to bang, like
you're a hall pass.
Hall pass.
Okay.
And remember, he goes, "Who would your hall pass be?" And she's like, "I've already had them all."
Yeah, there was a matter of fact, like...
No, she said, "I've already
Right.
slept with them."
That's right.
Like, Ernestine was like, "Skip."
I'm thinking about it right now.
Like, Whitlock was the first. I went after every TV debater before you. I had them all. Now, Whitlock, we had to position ourselves in certain ways so I would survive the act, but here we go.
We can be very comfortable being by ourselves. And there are nights, like last night, when
I go to sleep crying.
We can be very comfortable.
Very aggressive pet. Very aggressive pet. Someone's taking out a little nervous energy on that dog. Or a little bit of hate.
We can be very comfortable being by ourselves. And there are nights, like last night, when
I put a gun in my mouth just to taste it. To know that it's there.
we can be very comfortable being by ourselves. And there are nights, like last night, when I'll guess who.
Excuse me, I have to let. You can continue.
She
I have
just
to let
barked to go
Hazel
out. She barks. She
Hang on,
commands.
Hazel.
But let me continue.
All right, so the dog is interrupted.
The dog was a major part of the first segment being fed. Now the dog wants to go out.
So she gets up in the middle of the show. And then she has
Welcome to the hottest new show going right now.
Oh, it's very hot.
But let me continue to speak about my wife and our. You
bad. They used to call me a seaman. I want one of them boats.
Union. It's very strong. It's stronger than any other I've known, and it's also.
Is he zipping up? What the hell's going on in that room?
There's a lot happening, but listen to him talk about how strong their union is, stronger than any he's known, how strong the relationship
this is him and Ernestine.
Yes.
It's stronger than any other I've known, and it's also very damaged and troubled and flawed and whatever word you want to put on it, because
doomed. Those are not adjectives usually.
We're witnessing two people slowly descend into madness.
Yes.
I mean, he was like nuts before and maybe out of touch with reality. Oh, they're losing it together, these two.
Flawed and whatever word you want to put on it, because we have battles, we have fights, we have issues, we have unresolved issues, but you weigh it and you say, would you rather be apart or together? And
I weigh Ernestine every day, and she has a very strict limit. Ernestine, you are not to eat today. I have weighed you, and you have gone over. Ernestine, I suggest you take the dog on quite a long walk, because you have to make weight tomorrow morning.
But you weigh it and you say, would you rather be apart or together? And it's still better together than apart.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, okay,
That
sorry.
doesn't sound like a layup.
You
It
should be,
sounds like it's
Ernestine.
getting closer and closer, those two options.
The best thing is we have a lot of unresolved issues.
Oh, boy.
We have a lot of pain that we've been covering up that one day will explode. But it hasn't yet.
Yeah.
It's a very strong bond. We both know things about each other that can't be public. So it's a whole blackmail situation.
Strong relationship that is deeply flawed and troubled.
Well, and he's not saying like we argue and we have our differences. He's saying that we have unresolved issues, which is the funniest part about it. Like every couple fights, but the unresolved issues is what is.
It's still better together than apart.
Okay, sorry.
There you go.
Okay.
And I was just explaining.
Yeah, I heard.
That. Okay, good.
I heard it.
Yeah, Ernestine wears the pants.
Yeah, I
if
heard.
anyone's getting weighed in, it's Skip.
Oh,
yeah.
So they take listener and viewer emails and questions, and they were asked about for some reason, someone wants to know about celebrity couples and who's the most toxic celebrity couple.
And they're speaking from a point of great knowledge. Okay.
Right.
It got me wondering, says Angelique, what do you think was the most toxic Hollywood couple ever? One, when you read about them, you would go, well, that's a show.
Right, Ernestine?
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's
Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton
It's
is
just
the first
it.
that pops into
But
my
they're-
brain.
Out of all the ones I didn't have sex with.
Right. If we're trying to appeal to a younger demographic, Liz Taylor and Dick Burton. Everyone knows them.
I was in a devil's three-way with Laurel and Hardy. And I can tell you, none of us liked each other afterwards. We felt like dirt. You wouldn't think so, but Laurel, much bigger.
they just take the cake. You know, you can't compete because they literally did a shit show movie.
Where?
Called Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. And my kind of weird mom took me to see
I'm
it.
just looking to see because Hazel
She's okay. Can I?
may have to go out.
She's okay.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Get it together with these dogs.
It's so good.
What the hell's going on?
Again, but more the deeply flawed, troubled.
All right, I'll let it
very
play.
strong
Just
relationship.
signal me when you want me to talk.
All right,
Stop
go
it. All right, here we go.
Took me to see
I'm
it.
just looking to see because Hazel
She's okay. Can I?
may have to go out.
She's okay.
Yes. Oh,
You're
she's-
okay. Don't do this.
She has to
well,
go
you
out.
interrupted my story.
I'm sorry,
so
but
I
you
lost
should
it.
tell your story while I have to let her out because she has to go out. I'm sorry.
So,
Somebody
you're
has to
right.
be the mother.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf was a classic.
Oh my God.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh my God. I guess I'll be the mother since I'm your mother now. Skip.
Don't do this.
So
you impotent child.
All right, so he talks about how his mother took him to the movies, and it was like very disturbing for him. But she didn't have anyone else to go with. Blah blah blah. That's weird enough. She comes back in. There's one more clip, and this is about Valentine's Day. They want to know. The listener wants to know how they celebrate Valentine's Day.
Our tradition on every holiday, birthday, Valentine's Day, is cards. We exchange cards, and she always gets way too many, but
That's not
it
true.
was-
He gets as many cards as me, but then he complains I have too many cards and he has the same amount. I don't know why I have too many cards and he has the same, but he says, why did you get so many cards? And I count it. I say, you have the same amount.
So the first card she opened from me says,
funny.
and I'll
This is a
show
funny
you,
card.
it says, this Valentine was made with the most advanced AI, with the
It's got
most
hearts
advanced
all over it.
AI.
It's funny.
Hearts all over it. And you open it up and it says,
It's
you
perfect.
can read this.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's perfect.
AI. And she got a great
That,
kick
I
out
was
of it.
laughing. I thought that was
is-
really funny.
That's AI for you.
That was so funny.
It's advanced AI for Valentine's, and it says Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Get it? Get it? You know, we all get cards from our ex-lovers and we weigh them after to see who is the superior in the relationship.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's perfect.
AI.
Merry effing Christmas.
That was really funny.
Merry Christmas. I hope you die. This is the question everyone's asking. Tom, go ahead.
Hey guys, first time, long time. I'm just wondering, how long till either Ernest or Skip like Martin?
He's saying how long before one of them murders each other. He broke up.
Oh yeah.
And then how long does it take the dog to consume the one that's murdered?
Yes.
That's the real question.
Now that's a toxic relationship.
She has to
Well,
go
you
out.
interrupted my story.
I'm sorry,
so
but you should tell your story while I have to let her out because she has to go out. I'm sorry.
You're right. That's a show.
I'm actually starting to like this show.
Welcome to the hottest new show going right now.
I don't
It's
know.
called Two People Dying in Misery.
I don't know that there's any show I enjoy more than
Is this a
one right
daily?
now.
This is a daily show or a weekly show?
The
I'm
dog
going to
just
find out, John.
Please, I'm curious.
The dog just senses the tension in the air and feels like it has to break it up.
Play the petting clipping on Hardy.
Yeah.
All I can think of is the beginning of that Jimi Hendrix song.
Oh, and it also sounds like Third Eye Blind. How's it going to be?
All right. Well, that's available. That's what Skip Bayless is up to now. Couldn't just retire like everyone else with every other job. You know, you don't see accountants get an online accountant when they retire. They retire and don't work anymore. But apparently that's impossible.
Controversy.
All right. We'll be back. Our weekly segment with Cedric Maxwell coming right up.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports.
Max and I were going back and forth with the song choices all afternoon. It's wonderful.
All right. You know, I've heard that song a million times. I've never heard the name Dobie Gray. No one has ever been less credited for a hit song in the history of the world than Dobie Gray.
Well, one hit.
Yeah. But usually you get your name attached to it. There's not even his name isn't even attached to it. I've never heard that name in my entire life. And Cedric, I'm a genius, and I haven't heard that name.
You ain't Sean Grande.
Oh, well, listen, I'm not in that kind of category. Just ask the guy.
Preemptive strike by Max. Usually this is at the end. That's pretty good.
He loves it. He likes when I give him a little crap. And I love Cedric for it. Cedric's the best because he doesn't pretend. That I like.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't care. He's like, make fun of my partner all you want. It's quite great. It shows it's like, you know, it reminds me of Danny Ainge. And I'm sure two men couldn't be more different, but the confidence of just like, sure, take shots at him. When you sit next to him 82 times a year, F him. That's what I love about Cedric.
No pretense, you know. We have had a broadcasting relationship for 25 years. So like old people, you know, sometimes you get tired of the other one, but you know you couldn't do it without the other person. So that's how I look at it.
Oh, trust me, you could do it without him. All right. Well, listen, we're talking about of course, the Celtics games where Cedric Maxwell is an announcer on this 98.5 The Sports Hub Celtics radio network. And Cedric, I don't know if you've been watching the documentary, which I'm sure you're glued in on. Tonight's the night that Jason Tatum is coming back. There'll be T-shirts and everything.
Max, I heard you on another show, which we don't care for.
Yeah, what's going on, Cedric?
It was a national radio appearance.
You're tomcatting around.
You're making, and they were replaying a clip of it early this morning, and I'll just let you reiterate what you said, but I thought it was poignant in that Jason Tatum's return has as much to do with Jaylen Brown and the way he's played as it does Jason Tatum.
Well, I think that, you know, people have been talking for the longest time right now about can the two coincide? Can they play together? You know, does one need the other? If this team is going to where they want to be, this is the ultimate compliment to Brown because now you're bringing in that other guy and they can't just guard Brown now. They have to be more concerned about what Tatum's going to do. The rev up for the next maybe 15 minutes tonight. Then, you know, you build it up. I'm just so excited about the possibility of him being around. I've said this before. I don't think Jason Tatum is afraid, but I think he's apprehensive. Because if you're a good player, if you're a great player like he is, you want to see where you go with your skill set, how far you're going to be and how you measure up to where you were before. We've heard him many times say, I want to be Jason Tatum when I come back. Well, he's not going to be Jason Tatum when he comes back. He's going to be a version of it that's going to build into when he becomes Jason Tatum again.
I don't know if this question makes any sense, but can you describe the like on-court personality of the two of them? Like, are they different in any way personality-wise on court? They're obviously different off court, but like...
I think they are. I think Brown is. How many times have you seen Brown really smile? Like the other day, Cater made this crazy move up and under, and Brown just had this big smile on his face, and we haven't seen that since Porzingis. That's not his persona. Whereas you see that with Tatum, you know, all the time. You know, when he's out on the court, it's the joy that he plays in the game that sometimes transfers over. But the serious nature to me of Brown when he plays is just as good.
What will Tatum's role be these first couple of weeks? Does he start? Does he come off the bench? How long does he play?
He'll be a helper, John. That's what he'll do. He won't be that main guy. He's going to gradually build himself up. And I think that's the smart thing to do. You're not just going to throw him in and get 40 minutes tonight against Dallas. What you're doing, you're building him up for the playoffs. For the long run. So I'd say tonight probably would be maybe 15 minutes, maybe 18 minutes, someplace in there that he's going to play, but no more than that. And
is he going to start?
Absolutely.
Yeah. John thinks he won't. He's an idiot,
Well,
right?
John, Johnny Baseball, why would you say that?
I didn't think that they wanted to put all that pressure on him, but Fred brought up the very good point that he needs the big pop from the home crowd, so they will introduce him.
No, I said that, John.
My mistake.
God,
I
you're
apologize.
just screwing up left and right.
Oh, boy. All right. I didn't realize
That's why you didn't make
offended.
a puppet of you.
So I thought Jason, like you said, would be Jalen, like you said, would be in a complimentary role. So Jason would be in a complimentary role. And that meant off the bench for me. But Fred and Hardy made very good points the other way.
Yeah, they got it.
No, it's a great point because, one, I don't think you're going to let a guy warm up like that and then bring him into the game. And the fans have been waiting now for how long now to celebrate him, and you're going to bring him off the bench? No. You're going to be, tonight's going to be, Jaylen Brown will be introduced, and the end of that is going to be Jason Tatum's going to be introduced at the very end, and the crowd is going to go ballistic. So there's no way, I don't think that you would, if he's going to play tonight, there's no way you're not going to start him.
What was the worst injury you ever had, Cedric?
The partial tear of the meniscus. So but I had arthritis and all that other stuff that kind of went along with the knee at the time when I got hurt. So I didn't have what Tatum has, trying to do the whole thing with the Achilles. It was just a partial tear, but a lot of arthritis had set in. So to bring that injury, to really get over it, it was going to take me more time than they thought.
Is it a real fear when something that happens, like I might not play again? Or is it more like I'm going to miss a year of my career?
Oh, no, I don't. I didn't have that, so I don't know. For me, it was they gave me only 4 weeks to rehab.
So they gave you the timeline. They're like, you have 4 weeks and that's it.
Yes, essentially, that's what was said. When I got the operation, they said, you'll be back in so much time. They never said that with Jason Tatum.
Yeah, things have changed a bit since you played.
So, well, I think that, you're also protecting the product.
They treated you like property.
Well, when you put hundreds of millions of dollars, they're treating Tatum's like property too.
Right.
Very good damn property. He's like, Tatum's like Boardwalk. I was like, Connecticut Avenue or something. when you just crossed over. So I wouldn't even want the train. So I think that, in that case, you can't allow, you want to protect him. You want to protect the player as much as you can from himself, because a player wants to get back out on the floor immediately and get going again. But what they've done, they've given him all these different tests, strength tests, all this other stuff to go along with it, to make sure that, that injury is healed. Now, because of you playing with an injury like that, sometimes you might compensate. You can hurt something else. But I think that the Celtics are very wary of where he's at and what they want to do with him tonight.
Max, who loses time in the Celtics rotation? I mean, there have been a lot of different guys like Shireman and Gonzalez that have helped them get to this point, but now with Tatum here, there isn't going to be as many minutes to go around.
Bingo, John. I love when you state the obvious. That's why they call you Johnny Ballgame. You state the obvious. Those are the guys who are going to lose minutes. I mean, it's like Garza, who had really played well for the Celtics this year, but when you got Vooch in, he lost minutes, and he hasn't really played a significant role that he was playing before. So those guys like Shireman, I think Shireman is really good. And he does all those little things that help you win basketball games, crashing the boards, making some key shots, making some steals. And defensively, he's been really good. Hugo has been good. But everybody that Joe Mazzulla has put in the lineup this year, I don't think that you can say they've been bad. I mean, the game they had the other day was absolutely the most sucky game that they could have. And I think it was a great audition for Tatum to come back after they played the way they did in that last game.
Is Mazzulla the best coach in the NBA right now because of what you just described?
Absolutely. His relationship with his players, I think, is, just so paramount. But, you also look at his tree now of guys who have been under him. Look what just happened with Charlotte. Nice job down there by his former assistant coach getting that team going the right way. But I think Joe is a no nonsense guy. He doesn't pull any punches, and players sometimes they like that. They like the fact that he's going to be such a straight shooter. There's nothing behind your back, no other things going on. He's just going to tell you the way it is. And if you're a guy who's going to lose minutes, I'm sure Joe Mazzulla will go to you and say, well, tonight is going to be Jason Tatum's night. And the thing that he does sometimes, he will surprise guys. He'll just throw them in the lineup and see how it works, and they sink or swim immediately.
What did you think of Knipple? I'm just curious.
My nipple? Is that what you said? No.
Yeah, what can I see your nipples? Is what I'm asking.
Whoa. I thought he's a good player. I thought he's a good shooter. The Celtics this is the one time that I looked at the Celtic defense and it wasn't tailor-made to what they were doing. What you had Vooch going back in the lane, you had Cater going back in the lane off their center. Their center would set a pick, and then that guard would come over and he would come wide open. So Knipple was coming wide open towards the basket, and they had to do a better job of changing that defense up. But Knipple shooting the basketball, he was really good. I mean, there were some outstanding players over there for Charlotte the other day, and they have something that they can stay healthy and if they can keep ball out of driving, right? You know what I mean? Driving a car. That's what I. But they're going to be a pretty good team, and they were talking a lot of noise. Your guy Kyle Bailey was talking a lot of smack to me yesterday.
Oh, he's so outrageous. Oh, is he outrageous?
He told me last night. He said, I didn't want to be an ass when I called you again. I said, well, you know what? The other guy on our station right now, that's exactly what he would call you.
Yeah, Kyle Bailey is a firecracker. That much I can tell you.
But it's good to know Max continues to stoke those flames just in case they're needed.
I'm just happy I remember who he's talking about. But yes, Kyle Bailey was.
Took me a moment to remember who Kyle Bailey was.
Is the man who called Rick Radzik 75 times to complain about me.
How'd he get Rick's number?
From Cedric.
Oh,
Max called.
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Stories. He called me up, Kyle Bailey, and said, "Hey, who's controlling your station right now?" And I gave him the telephone number. I didn't think anything of it until you told me later on you guys were in a feud. I was like,
No,
I felt like Homer Simpson.
You didn't know he was a psycho either.
I don't care. I'm just fascinated that the guy called the program director of the radio station like a lunatic. I've never heard of that in my entire life.
Every
he
commercial
told on me. Like, what did he want him to do? Fire me because I made fun of Kyle Bailey?
Take you in the room and tell you to look in a corner. Just put your head in the corner and just stare at the wall.
Yeah.
It was just so funny, but I didn't know the feud had been, kind of started between you two guys. And and when he told me, he said, I just like that. I like how he said, I'd like to just go right up there and punch that guy right in the nose. Damn.
Wow.
Fred Toucher being an unhinged idiot.
Well, please tell him not to do that. He's a very intimidating individual. Cedric, can I ask you one favor to make up for the Rick Radzik thing? Will you, if Grandy pulls any of this, no one thought Tatum would come back. If he pulls one of those wrestling things, of like him, like some wrestling character coming back. Everyone thought Tatum was coming back. We've been following the process. Just go, shut up. All right.
I think Sean has been preaching the whole time that Tatum was coming back. I was the guy initially this year, before the year started, I didn't think Tatum was coming back. But I thought, and I said on the show, because of the way Brown played this year, and the way he's elevated this team, it gave Tatum an opportunity to come back. If this team was in the doldrums and this team was, way down at the bottom and trying to fight for a playoff spot, you don't bring Tatum back.
No.
But because of the way Brown has elevated this team this year and his teammates, and Joe Mazzulla's done a great job, and this team is, 20 games over 500, that is why you bring Tatum back now, because you bring him in a very positive situation that this team could actually, if he comes back anywhere between 75 and 80% of who he is, this team has an outstanding chance of overtaking anybody in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, certainly. They could absolutely win the East. All right, Cedric Maxwell, we love you. You're the best. Listening tonight when Tatum comes back right here on this radio station. Thank you, Cedric.
Let's get him back in there, Sean, okay? Let's get him back.
Enough with the wrestling crap that he does. No one thought they were going to win. No one cared. All right, thank you, Cedric. Appreciate it. There you go.
Thanks, Max.
I give him what he wants. He wants me to go after Grant.
He did a little bit.
And he likes
He's
the
waiting for
Bailey
it.
thing. The Bailey kid from North Carolina. He wanted to smack me right there in my nose. He wanted to give me a big
punch in the snot locker.
Nothing scarier than a DJ telling you he's going to hit you.
I used a few minutes to rant and rave about it.
Yeah. I didn't know who you were, you stupid idiot. He was making fun of my family. Get out of here, you moron. Making fun of your family. Now I want to know about your family so I can make fun of it. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Fred Toucher is a nut job.
KYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
Rocket science.
What's going on with the hockey trade deadline than it is with football free agency?
Yes.
Because they don't put a decisive list out of which you can reference when the trades happen.
And, here's spoiler alert, don't know a lot of these guys.
Yeah, there's that.
Well, yeah, you bring up the big trade that Columbus made, and Columbus obviously is right behind, I think they're a point behind the Bruins. And they made a trade, and they gave up a second-round pick and took on a lot of salary.
2 picks, second and a third.
Oh, I'm sorry, a second and a third. And for a guy who has how many goals?
7.
And he's a forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Connor Garland.
Yeah, this is
Vancouver.
not a defenseman.
No.
And so, like, Connor Garland of who?
Yeah, not having Vancouver, not having a good year either. And he's had 4 or 5 good years before this, but this is a down season for him. And as Hardy explained earlier, he's entering a mammoth contract paying him an exorbitant amount of money. And this was a second and a third round pick. Prices seem to be expensive, even though we were led to believe in the last week that it was a buyer's market.
Yeah, and so throw out the second and third round pick. This is a hard cap league. Like, you take on a salary like that, that's very limiting. I mean, obviously. Like,
you're going to have to give up someone on your major roster to do that if you're the Bruins. So you're going to have to give up a guy who's currently playing every night.
And if you don't, even if you can fit the cap, you somehow manage it where you can fit it into your cap. Columbus did, obviously, in some way. I don't know if they were that far under the cap, but even if you do, then you got to account for that until, like, what, 2031 or something? Like, that's like just, you got to take that off the books that entire time. And I know the cap goes up a little bit, but it's a hard cap and it's very hard to navigate around.
Not enough in the next 6 years to limit damage. $6 million. As you said, hard cap league. There's no, front loading anything or back loading everything. It's average annual value. This is a much different animal than the NFL.
Yeah, and the way that it is now is, these guys are always available in free agency, right? Like, the Bruins went nuts in free agency last year getting guys that score 6 goals. And now some have overachieved, but bottom 6 forwards don't seem difficult to get. Defensemen are very difficult to get. Centers are very difficult to get. Bottom 6 forwards, readily available everywhere you go. You want a big-bodied, tough in the corners forward, you can get them.
If your needs are that specific, then yeah, you can go out there and you can find those things. I think the issue that the Bruins might be dealing with right now is the fact that they need to address a couple of different things. And goal scoring, obviously, can be problematic at times. Staying out of the penalty box and being better on the penalty kill, like which of these masters do you serve first? So
they need a right shot defenseman, and that's probably what they would want in a perfect world. And they want one that's relatively young with term if they were going to make a big move.
Right.
I have to assume that's the thing they want.
And the other thing that we brought up earlier that I think bears repeating is that Boston College lost again last night. They've lost 3 straight. They're 19-13, and at best are on the bubble to make the NCAA tournament. I don't know about at-large bids. I don't know about, strength of schedule, anything about that. I don't know how that works with the NCAA hockey tournament. But it seems that James Hagens is going to be available to you to turn pro sooner rather than later. And that might be the bump that Don Sweeney could get for the top 9 forwards. You slot this kid in at wing because he's played both wing and center. And maybe if the college success translates immediately to the big boy league, you might get some help that way.
All right. Well, Bob Beers can help us with that. He'll be joining us. He's very kind to join us after the road game in Nashville. We'll talk to him in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy. Owen Beetle, Felger and Mass. The Bruins, the Celtics, the Pats, the Revolution. This is Boston's home for sports. WBC FM at HD Boston. 98.5 The Sports Hub. A Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins played their final game before the trade deadline last night in Nashville and got blown out by a team in full sell mode 6-3. This was a 5-1 game after 2 periods. The Bruins' next game is tomorrow at home against the Washington Capitals. The trade deadline is at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Capitals made a big move late last night. They sent top defenseman John Carlson to Anaheim for a conditional first-round draft pick and a third-rounder. Columbus is 1 point behind the Bruins for the final playoff spot in the East. They sent second- and third-round picks to Vancouver overnight for forward Connor Garland. Now to the big story of the morning. That's Jason Tatum. Celtics have upgraded him to questionable for their home game against Dallas tonight. And according to ESPN and others, the expectation is he is going to play. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots yesterday signed former Arizona linebacker Jesse Luketa. They've reportedly met with former Cleveland starting left tackle Jedrick Wills. Red Sox lost an exhibition game to Philadelphia 6-2. They'll play Detroit in Lakeland, Florida today. And at the World Baseball Classic, Japan scored 10 runs in the top of the second inning. They wound up beating Chinese Taipei 13-0. Shohei Ohtani, a grand slam and 5 RBIs. The U.S. will play Brazil in their first game tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Diving effort. He's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front. Coming to the slot.
The Sports Hub. When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
Pasternak for a one-timer, save made by Saros, and then the rebound gets deflected up into the face of Charlie McAvoy, who's slow in getting up.
If I'm Nashville, that's a potential 2-on-1 going back the other way. Look, I know McAvoy got hit in the face right here. It's the puck. It's not the stick. It ramped up on him or caught him, and Nashville had
Last night, Bob Beers is kind enough after calling that game in a different time zone to join us this morning. Bob Beers, hello, sir. Good to talk to you.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. How are you?
We are well. The trade deadline is at 3 p.m. today, and all of us are experts on everyone that could possibly be available on these teams that might be willing to deal. So if you're the GM of the Bruins, it's an obvious question, but I'll just ask you: are you buying, selling? Are you staying pat? What do you think the theory is today?
I'm buying, but it's not for rental players. It's not for someone that you're just going to have this year and then they're going to be gone. I don't think there's any real purpose in that, and trading away a draft pick or two to get somebody like that. I think that, if you are in the buyer's market to try to help this team, and there's a couple areas that you could certainly use help in, and they put themselves in a playoff position. But if you're a buyer, it's got to be somebody that is going to be here for a little while at least, and not just the end of this season and gone. And that's been what they've done kind of in the past, right? They've traded away, they've gone for it. The most the biggest one was a couple of years ago when they had the really good regular season team, and they traded a couple first round picks. They got Orlov, they got Hathaway, they got Bertuzzi. And I don't think anybody faulted Donnie Sweeney for doing that and trying to help that team at that time, or at least I didn't. But this year they're in a much different position. They put themselves in a playoff spot. Do they deserve help? Yeah, they deserve a little bit of help. And now if they can make the right deal, they will.
I hope this isn't the case, Bob, but is there in any way a chance that the way they played last night, and even the second and third periods of the Penguins game where Swayman was outstanding, but after the hot start, they didn't look like the team that Sweeney was talking about earlier, even this week or last week, when he said, here's a team that deserves it, and they put themselves in this spot. I don't think they would have a recency bias that would affect them to that degree, but I just want to hear someone else say it, so I don't think that way.
No, I don't think the recency bias is there. We all had a big question mark with every team, not just the Bruins, but with every team coming out of the Olympic break. I mean, that's 3 weeks off. That's, some teams had more than others that went to the Olympics. How would guys handle themselves in terms of staying in shape during the 3 weeks? So I think it was a big, and then how were teams? A team that was really hot going into the break, do they stay hot when they come out of the break? It was an unknown for everybody. And, the Bruins are 2-2 since coming out of the break. Have they played really good hockey? Maybe a couple periods here and there, but they've also had some periods where they have not played all that well. And when you put it all together collectively, that a power play that was humming and playing really well early or before the break, they're not quite there right now. Penalty killing's been better. So there's different facets of the game that have changed a little bit. So I do not think recency bias is part of it. I think that they have put themselves in a position to earn, some help. And where that help comes from, I'm not sure just yet. There's been a lot of, there was a lot of talk that they were in on a couple of right shot defensemen that have not materialized. There's a lot of right shot defensemen that have moved in the last week or two, and the Bruins have not been in on them for whatever reason. So that's where I thought that the direction that they were going to go. But there's been a number of guys that have moved, and they've moved to other teams, obviously.
You know who's available? Our good friend Dougie Hamilton.
Oh, good.
Dougie Hamilton.
Love Dougie Hamilton.
He's with New Jersey, if you've not been following the career of Dougie Hamilton.
Well, if he can have some friends this time around and guys to go out with, then maybe they can make it work.
Dougie Hamilton is available. Good. And you can have him if you would like him. And he can return home where he belongs, right here in Boston. But if you're the Bruins, just what are you looking for? What do you need? What improves them for the playoff run?
A right shot defenseman. I mean, I've thought that for a while. I think that they could use a little help in that department. Someone that slots in behind McAvoy and can play, 20 minutes a night, 18 to 20 minutes a night, and play in different situations. So I thought that's, they were. I don't like all the rumors that are always out there, but there were enough rumors out there that they were in on Rasmus Anderson, and they were pretty credible rumors. And it didn't happen because he didn't want to sign the extension. And I think that gives you a pretty clear indication if the Bruins are going to try to acquire somebody, that they want it to be somebody that's going to be here for a while and not just this year.
And by the way,
they would have gone harder at Anderson.
I'm aware that I made him repeat himself. So save me it later.
Okay. No.
I'm aware, Bob, that you had to reiterate something you just said based on my question. I wanted it out there.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Thank you.
No.
I didn't want to. You know what they do, Bob, is that they save it and then they attack me later. So I had to get ahead of this, Bob. I apologize.
It's a recurring segment over the entire radio station called "When the Hosts Aren't Listening." But
I was listening. Though.
I know you were.
I wanted to jump in with my hilarious Dougie Hamilton take.
I'm defending you, but I guess maybe what Fred was kind of thinking about too, and it's what we were talking about, the right shot defenseman, sure, they've needed it for a while. You've said it. I've heard it, and I trust you on it. I wonder if there's anything else they look at in terms of offense, because that seems to be a tap that runs hot and cold with this team. Is there anything else that if that right shot defenseman isn't there for them, what else would appeal to them?
Well, yeah, I mean, a forward that can help in different areas. Sure, I would love that. I thought that maybe they would be in on that Connor Garland. He ends up going to Columbus. I thought that was a possibility. It would have been a nice fit. But, there's other are you going to sign any of your college not free agents, sorry, college players when their seasons end? Is there a guy that can come in and help you right away? Are you getting help in that department? That's a possibility. So if you've got an eye towards that, then, are any of them defensemen? I think most of them are forwards from what I'm reading and understanding, that if that's a possibility, then you've got more of an eye towards the defensive part of it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. We were discussing James Higgins right before you came on. Sure. Higgins at BC, obviously their first-round draft pick from last year. He's lighting it up at Boston College. He's got 20 goals and 40 points in 30 games, but BC looks like they're trending towards being out of the NCAA tournament, which would mean Higgins would be available to you sooner rather than later. In your experience, a kid like that, how much of an impact can he have at the NHL level once he just signs on?
It's kind of it's a hard one because, you look at somebody like Cal McCarr. He came in and was an instant impact in Colorado. Now, is James Higgins capable of that? I don't want to evaluate James Higgins' games because I've only seen him play in the World Juniors. I have not seen BC play this year. It's my understanding he's playing wing. And, by all accounts, he's had an excellent season. So I don't want to evaluate because I haven't seen him, to be fair and honest. So, but everything you hear is positive.
Fred has gone scouting.
Report.
Yeah.
Give me the scouting report.
He's number 10.
What else can you tell us, Fred?
Well, BC lost
like the wind.
BC lost 5-1.
He had an assist.
He had an assist on the one goal. He did.
He had an assist. I saw it. It was right in front of me.
All right.
I was in the upper deck with the regular people. There no VIP treatment for me.
Is he a short fella?
Didn't seem as tall as some of the other guys, but I wouldn't call him short.
He scored the only goal they had last night. They lost 2-1.
Last night I did not see. I cannot speak to that, but I was at the BU-BC game. To which I paid. I never paid the guy that got the ticket, so I went for free. You're never getting your money. So how about that? So I mean, at least that would be fun, right? It's been a while since it was. I think I already had this conversation with someone, but McAvoy was the last kid that came up and contributed right away, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and they started him they actually sent him to Providence when he came out, and then they had a couple of injuries, and he came up and played in the Ottawa series. I think it was the first round of the playoffs in the Ottawa series, and played extremely well. So, sure, that's a very good example as well. But is he ready to do that? I don't know. I'm not sure of that. But he looked good in the World Juniors, and from what I hear, he's looked real good in playing at BC.
It would be kind of like a cool thing, and since you cover the team so closely, I just think it would be kind of a cool thing if they did bring him up. Obviously he's got to be able to play, because it just shows what they're reaping. Now it's been so long since they always used collateral to improve in the now. So this would be kind of like neat to see a kid come up and contribute. It's something to pay attention to over the last run of this season, before we get to the playoffs. So that would
they made no secret they need to replenish the cupboard in terms of the draft picks. They started to do that. They've got 4 number ones coming up in the next 2 years. I know that might go a little south on the Florida pick, just because it might get pushed back another year on Florida's pick. But I mean, you've got Toronto's first round pick this year, as long as it's not in the top 5. You've got your own first round pick this year. So they made no secret they don't want to give away picks for rental players. And so, I mean, if there's a first round pick available for somebody that's going to be here a while and contribute in the right way, I think that they would look hard at that. They haven't done it yet. So, it tells you how much these picks and these draft picks mean to them. And it's not just the first round. They've got some second rounders as well. So, they're fairly stocked, and now it's a matter of making the right picks, and then you got to draft and develop.
All right. Well, Bob Beers, you always do a fantastic job. Love hearing you on the calls. Love hearing you on the hockey show. And we really do appreciate it. I know you had a late night last night. Thanks for calling in today.
Oh, all good. All good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bob.
Enjoy.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. There you go. The great Bob Beers from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Bobby Beers. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I looked it up because I was going to ask him about the Olympics if he was Canadian. I was really going to shove it in his face.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, hey, how's it feel?
Give him what for?
You lost to the best country in the world, baby. And now we got the World Baseball Classic to pretend to care about.
Tonight, the U.S., tonight.
I will say for the maybe 10,000th time, baseball is my favorite sport. I do not feel it's something to be talked about every day. I just don't think that real teams that are in control of things are analyzing things to that level. I know that there was a history of Boston sports radio where every Red Sox game was dissected from a strategic standpoint the next day.
That kind of petered out about 20 years ago.
Yeah. I don't think that you'd be hearing much sports talk radio in Boston if that was still the case. But I'm telling you, especially after the Olympics, this notion that we're supposed to care if the United States wins the World Baseball Classic. Now, it's interesting enough that we're watching it, and I certainly, if it's on, we'll watch it because the great players involved. But I gotta believe the idea that this is any way ingrained in patriotism. I'm calling BS on. Like you're really a maniac if this is like somehow the United States having a team has got you all riled up. Like they're saying the players are like, I have military people in my family, which everyone does. I don't particularly like when people say that. Like unless you've been in the military, everyone was in World War II. A lot of people went to Nam. We all have connections to the military living in this country. Despite what they're saying, I find very little connection between this and the United States military. I don't think the two go hand in hand.
Well, you're just not looking hard enough, number one. Number two, John, did Taipei get mercied?
Yes. 7 innings, 13-0.
Oh, so it has to be a 15-run lead before 7 innings?
It's 15-run lead in the 5th, 10-run lead in the 7th.
And some of these teams, like Chechnya and Taipei, are so abhorrent that there was a guy pitching for Chechnya yesterday that I am not sure would be the number one pitcher on some ISL teams locally.
No.
And I'm not kidding.
No, he topped out. We were watching and checking the radar gun while he was throwing. His top speed on his fastball was 84.
Right. And his
changeup was about 75.
And he was having trouble locating with his off-speed pitches.
Yeah.
He was not a good pitcher. And you go up against Shohei Ohtani.
I don't know if he had so much trouble locating as he just didn't want to be anywhere near where the bat might be.
Well, Ohtani was today,
Tends to be
and
the
they
problem.
played. I didn't really check out the guy pitching for China Taipei or whatever the hell it was, but like, unless you're the best, like
you're not going to get him.
You don't even have to make a mistake. The Japanese team is going to put up a lot of runs.
Well,
it's almost unfair.
The Ohtani's first 3 at-bats led off the game with a double, followed that up with a grand slam, and then finished with an RBI single before he was replaced.
It just it's quite literally a high school team from a state here, like that's not like Nebraska, like a high school all-star team playing against the best major leaguers. It's very hard to get excited about. Now, when it gets to where it's major leaguers playing each other, then fine.
That's like, for instance, the U.S. plays Brazil tonight. I mean, that game should be a lot like what we saw earlier this morning.
How good is the pitching for Brazil going to be?
It can't be very good at all. I would think Brazil would be one of the last teams added. Or, if you're seeding teams, if there are 16 teams, Brazil would be 15th, right in front of that Chinese Taipei team we saw this morning. Australia's down there, too. Australia's playing in that little Tokyo Dome round robin.
It's like it's like, you know what it is? It's like the 92 Olympics. It's the first dream team. Like
Right.
It's like them playing Lithuania or something.
Angola. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, like it's just like, I mean, I feel anyone they pitch, I feel terrible for, because I'm not sure they would be. They're D1 pitchers. Like I'm not even positive about that.
I wanted to go back to hockey for a second.
Sorry.
I don't know that there's time, John.
Oh, okay.
No, John, go ahead.
Let's
John,
leave it alone.
John,
then.
you have my permission to go.
Okay. I like your hypothetical before we came on the air. I think it should be mentioned here because it's an interesting discussion.
This is like a JV thing that I came up with, but they do conceivably have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. Would you give up 4 first-round picks for Brady Tkachuk? He's on Ottawa. Ottawa's horrible
every year. So, I mean, Brady Tkachuk is 26 years old. I mean, obviously, you saw him in the Olympics. You saw him in the 4 Nations. He's a leader. The second he walked through the door, he'd be this team's captain.
Yes.
And he's a guy you could build around for years.
Right.
And you wouldn't have to give up anybody off your roster as it's currently constituted. Everyone gets moved down a peg. He's your top-line wing.
Would they do it? And it's it's in the division. It's in the
guys like him. You just don't get opportunities to get guys like him.
No, but they might be feeling it a little bit with the draft right now and thinking, no, there's too much at stake. Giving up 4 first-rounders.
But it's in the next 2 years. If you didn't have multiple picks in each of the next 2 years, you would never consider this. But it only hurts you in 2 drafts.
And remember that they had 3 first-round picks in a row
and blew all 3 of them.
all 3 of them. And don't give me DeBrusque.
That ain't them no more.
Actually, that was Sweeney's first draft was DeBrusque, Senyshyn, and Zaboral.
Senyshyn.
Sorry.
Are we sure? I don't even know.
I just like correcting John on a player pronunciation.
Okay.
Thank you. I let him cut loose. But that was
I think Sweeney's first draft, that 13, 14, 15.
I just remember I was in my friend Jay's house in Detroit, and I woke up and I actually called Haggerty, and I'm like, there's no way they took these guys. Like, I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, there's no way they kept all those picks. And they did. And they drafted 3 guys in a row, and one of them became a regular NHL player. 1 out of the 3. First round, mid-round picks, too.
Mm-hmm.
But
unorthodox.
leaning.
And by the way, they were a good team at the time, too.
Yes,
so, they could have used those picks and gotten someone to help. They could have maneuvered around. You got to figure. But listen, maybe the deals weren't there.
Now that I'm thinking about it, just to put a bow on this, all the picks, all those first-round picks, the odds of you getting a Brady Tkachuk, because none of them are going to be in the top 10, the odds of you getting a Brady Tkachuk are long. I would do that deal. I would
do it if I'm the Bruins.
I would do that deal. I don't know if Ottawa would be interested, but I would. If that was what was on the table over the next 2 drafts, I would do it.
Because if any of you are Bruins fans that go to like 5 games a year, the chances of you seeing Ottawa 4 of those are very high. They seem to play Ottawa every time I'm in the building, which is never good. And so if you're Ottawa, do you want to face Brady Tkachuk 60 times a year?
Yeah, exactly.
Every Boston home game is against Ottawa. And I was telling John, just like Matt Suzaka pitched every Red Sox game I've been to.
It's true. I had the same problem he had.
Like you go, it's Sunday, Milo, you want to go to a game? Yeah. And then we go to a game, and then you go, oh, Jesus Christ.
No pitch clock. 100 pitches in the 5th inning, every start.
2 hours, 2.5 hours for 5 innings. All right. We'll be back with our award.
I got Brian Bayo, so at least you guys had a little something other than a guy who just can't find the plate for the first 2 innings.
Well, no, that was Matsuzaka for the most part.
Yeah, that's true.
He was very deliberate. All right. We'll be back with our award-winning email segment in just a moment.
You're listening.
to Toucher and Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
It is the email segment. It's the big email segment. And it is going on right now on our show.
It's a big day, though. Day's a little different today.
Yeah?
Day's a little different. We have actual mail to open today.
Yeah, we do. We have a huge box that is in front of us right now, and it is listed. It is being delivered to Toucher, Hardy, and Waldick.
That's how it's addressed. I'm going to use Christmas gift here to open this thing up.
So he
I already took care of most of that for you.
Yeah, I know. He did.
Everyone's has knives. Everyone has got a knife on them on this show. Everyone's very manly with their knives.
It says fragile, handled with care on the outside of this very large, what would you say, 2x4?
Traveling Wilburys.
No, I would say that it's bigger than that. I would say that's what would you say that is, Hardy? What would you say the dimensions on that bad boy are?
It's 36 by 24.
We're going 36 by 24.
2x3.
The actual thing
here. Yeah, 2x3, 36 by 24, 4 plus 4 is 8. We're doing a lot of things there.
Bobby, these equations, Bobby.
Yeah, and now he's really using the knife because he has to take paper off of it as we unfurl this animal.
Okay. Well, it's good, whatever it is.
If you want the legal equivalent of a big package, go to Jeffrey Glassman, injury lawyers, if you've been hurt in a car work accident. You got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. All right, it is a big... People have not only made T-shirts, they have now... If you're on YouTube, enjoy this. Let me take a picture of it. I'll put it on Instagram right now as we talk. Can you get the microphone away from it? I'm gonna try to frame this the best I can, and then I'm going to take a photo of it. It is a very large photo, a campaign photo of John Wallach as a high school, and everyone loves the phrase "Make America Nut Again."
Yes.
Which is, of course, something that we're all fans of, making America nut again. Now, I will put that up at Fred Toucher post-haste.
Well, what are we going to do with it?
Well, I'm going to make sure it's displayed prominently for the special guest that'll be in the building next week.
Oh, good. Put that up in the conference room.
Again.
Yeah.
And you know that when College Game Day is back at BC... that you will you'll absolutely use that again. You can hold that up when you do that.
Put that there so the NBC sports people can use that during the midday show.
Yeah, I think they should.
That's good.
I mean, it's in itself not anything offensive.
No.
So,
we've gotten a lot of emails, John, and I don't hear you doing this. Now, every once in a while, I may say it or Fred may say it, but with regard to a certain team that was in the Olympics, starts with a CZ.
I say Czechia.
And
that's incorrect?
No, that is correct. But people have accused you, as Alexander's doing again today. It's Czechia, for Christ's sake, not Chechnya. Not whatever Waldouche has been calling it.
So sorry.
Fred who said Chechnya, not Wallach.
I know, but
but it might
you
as well
say
be
it
Wallach.
quickly, and it's I don't know. I feel you're being unfairly attacked.
I keep saying Czechia is what I said.
Doesn't that
CH.
place change its name like every 5 years?
It was the Czech Republic. It is no longer the Czech Republic.
Okay, at Fred Toucher now has our new sign of a Make America Nut Again with John Wallach.
Okay.
And I just put 2008 Rock the Vote.
2008.
It's good.
That's being generous. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Or 2028. Maybe I did put 2008.
I like 2008 better.
Yeah, 2008 Rock the Vote.
Yeah, leave it.
Have them win. That was from 2008. 1908 is more like it. But John, of course, is before Invisalign. But your gap got so much bigger, John.
After I graduated, it did.
Your teeth continued to shift cruelly away from each other until they were finally fixed with your Invisalign.
Yep.
And there you go.
Were those photochromatic lenses, or did those not exist yet? When
Oh no, those existed, and I think they are actually. Those lenses are darker than they need to be. Yes.
Well, the problem with you wearing monochromatic lenses when you're getting your picture taken, those are glasses that turn to sunglasses in the light, is that there's a big flash and a light on you.
There's a huge light on you.
So these glasses don't know what time of day it is.
Exactly right.
They just make his eyes look sullen, and it makes him look even a little more sickly than he already was.
Well, you don't know what he's up to behind that D&D board.
Very thin in that photo.
A lot of people will play Dungeons and Dragons based on the eye movement of the person they're playing against.
Yeah, that's right. You're not playing the board, you're playing the man.
That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry, sir. You have a tell. You have a tell.
Yeah, they knew that you were going to the Hobgoblin almost immediately as soon as your eyes would go all over the place.
A lot of Skip Bayless and Ernestine earlier in the show today, and Tima emailed in apologies, but this is the hottest effing podcast. It's been great following your show, but I'm now far more into their podcast. It's been a pleasure. So,
we are.
Welcome to the hottest new show going right now.
And it was something else.
Okay, I'm not going to, don't worry, I'm not going to read the entire email, and the emailer even knows I can't, but it says, it's from Matt. It says, morning, gentlemen. Was just finishing yesterday's show, as people do consume it on podcasts or up there on YouTube. It's up there forever. And it's really our legacy. Was finishing yesterday's show, and Fred mentioned the sugar baby type thing. Yeah, seekingarrangements.com.
Oh. How much of this are you going to read?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I'm not going to give any of the scenarios. Okay. So it's seekingarrangements.com. I actually know people, I believe, that have been on this thing. It's not prostitution. But it's, I guess, by nature, an older guy with some money, and there's a young woman with not a lot of money. And the thing is that we're going to date, and I do believe you go on dates and things, but in exchange, I'm going to buy you things and pay your rent, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Like, it's something if my daughter did, I would be very concerned and think and probably would know I had failed as a parent. Probably not made for air unless you want to, but kind of funny insight into what some of these wealthy guys are into. I'm good friends with these two girls, late 20s. They're both really pretty, but in small-town New England kind of way. I can only tell you what they told me, and they showed me some of the texts. And then it gets into these things that we can't talk about. When I say I can't talk about them, ladies and gentlemen, you know I am not overly afraid of getting in trouble. These are scenarios that are of serial killer variety. Now, no one gets hurt in them, but I am now almost consistently being reminded of I'm not nearly as terrible a person as I think I am. Like these things, I would not even envision what they want these girls
as
to
normal people go, you're still a bad person. But if you go to the less than normal person, there's just a whole different level of bad people out there.
Like you know what I want out of sex? Someone good looking. In the pornography that I have, in my personal life.
That's sweet.
But that's my only proclivity, is I want a good-looking woman.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the big firm boobs, we're good. I mean, I like that as well, but it's not a requirement.
How about the personality?
Oh, I don't care. The dumber, the better. I like big dummies. Big, stupid idiots.
Big, pretty dummy.
Because that means I'm in charge. Chick. No, of course I'm not going to be with someone unless I get along with them. But we're really talking about pornography here. Like these scenarios, these things that need to be done. They never enter they've never even entered my brain. None of this is required. I don't want anything. I want sex, just regular sex. I'm sorry if that makes me boring. But you think you're like a bad guy, not sexually, but you just think like maybe like I have all these flaws and all these things, and then you read an email like that and you go, "My God, I'm an angel." Like, not only have I never done this, it's never occurred to me, Adam. These scenarios are very, very disturbing. But anyway,
all right, I want to do one thing and get it out of the way right now. One of our sales people here, Christian. Was in the habit of bringing bagels every Friday.
Oh, that's what the guy meant when he said Christian really came through, John.
Okay.
I had no idea what he was talking about. I asked John. He didn't know either.
Okay.
I just said yes.
Right?
But I did say it was food related. Yes.
I went down there to grab a bagel.
Yep.
And he said, Hardy, I have a music question for you. And it's this long preamble. And I said, Christian, I've only suffered through this much of it because you brought bagels. Please arrive at the question and what it is that you want from me. He said he's really into this. He called it a band from the suburbs of Australia. I informed him that Australia was not a city. And he said, no, I mean a suburb of Perth. I'm like, again, way too much information. He just wants to know, this band that he's really into, if I like it or if he thinks it's good. Or
what did you do? What happened?
I don't like it.
No, it's awful. And if it's funny, I don't get it. And it's not. All right, it's terrible. Way to go, stupid. You made us play something really dumb now, but thereby making you look dumb.
But he brought bagels. He's back on the bagel train.
I ain't a carbo loading this morning. I already had candy.
Oh, yeah. You started your day with an Almond Joy and a Twix.
I had more than one. I had a lot of candy this morning. I don't care. I'm throwing it all away, baby. I'll have candy. I'll have candy
style.
at 5:30 in the morning. Don't you tell me what to do. It's no different than your precious coffee. What the hell was the point of him wanting you to play that?
It's a lot different than my precious coffee. How dare you?
Yeah. What did he want out of that?
I think he wants validation. I'm really into this band. What do you think of this band?
So of all the music, this is what he wanted us to hear.
Yep.
Something that's not
And
even
he
new.
didn't want it done on the radio. I just wanted to get it out of the way because otherwise I have to as I'm eating the bagel, I have to pull it up in my car when I'm driving home or do it later. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, period, but I'd rather do it here.
Yeah, well,
now
the
it's
eggs
done.
on his face, it was terrible. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines, which will be better than that song.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins lost in Nashville last night 6-3. They have tonight off. Their next game is at home tomorrow afternoon against the Washington Capitals. The NHL trade deadline arrives at 3 p.m. Eastern time this afternoon. Big story at TD Garden tonight. The Celtics will play Dallas. Jason Tatum has been upgraded to questionable by the team, but by all accounts, he is expected to play tonight and make his season debut. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots yesterday signed former Arizona linebacker Jesse Luketa. Buffalo made a big trade yesterday, getting wide receiver DJ Moore from Chicago. Red Sox lost an exhibition game to Philadelphia yesterday 6-2. They played Detroit and Lakeland, Florida today. And at the World Baseball Classic, Japan beat Chinese Taipei 13-0. Shohei Ohtani, 3 hits, including a grand slam, and 5 RBIs. Masataka Yoshida, by the way, 2 for 3 with an RBI triple for the winners as well. The U.S. will play Brazil in their first game of the World Baseball Classic tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180. We all love the word free, so does Awaken 180. Medication free, side effect free, and free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 10 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Mice running a drill in your basement. Spiders practicing defense in the shower. Stink bugs huddling on the windows. New year, new defense against bugs. Use Burgess Pest, my go-to for fast, local...
Do people listen to Touch Your Hardy?
Because it's a thing.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Fox 25 is doing something like with this adult dog. I think it's an adult dog that needs a home. And he's sitting there letting the guy pet him. A stranger pet him. And if I could just go back in time,
You'd get a different dog?
I would get that dog in 5 seconds. I'd be a real hero. I'd get an adult dog that would sit there and let a stranger pet him and not
Cute.
run around like a maniac.
That's a puppy.
Yeah, really cute.
It's a puppy?
That was a puppy.
I don't think my dog sat down for a year. And it's happy. He's certainly happy. He just is very energetic.
All right, we got things for Adam 12 to do this week.
Oh, good. I need things to do.
Now,
I don't even have to ask about two of these.
But, just to kind of lay it out, Adam's extremely cheap and very poor.
Yes. And yes.
He's one of these library people. He's one of these, he borrows.
Yes.
He relies on the government for most of his activity.
Sometimes it's better to borrow.
Collectives and
what's that? Ashrams.
Yeah.
No.
What's the other
Don't you take on Vedic culture? How dare you?
Community gardens and sheds.
Yeah. Like he's like a big community garden
library.
guy.
Yeah.
If he was a woman, he would never dye his hair.
They got little free libraries for canned goods now too. I'm into it.
He would wear horrible jeans and carry a tote with him everywhere.
Well, I do
he
wear
went.
horrible jeans, but
Not
and
like
I do
these
carry
women.
a tote sometimes.
Not like these women taking up parking spots.
Well, it was either last weekend or the weekend before we had the tapping of the maple trees with the syrup.
Love
you know what this weekend is? Somerville's 27th annual Maple Boil Down.
Love it.
He's in.
Yeah.
Boiled after all the sap has been collected, gallons and gallons around the Tufts campus, they're going to boil it down into 100% hyper-local maple syrup. Youths and adults will have a chance to learn about tree anatomy.
Oh, your kids. If our kids were just younger.
Oh, I absolutely took my youngest kid to this exact stuff. Like not at, but yes, this is something we
Did they develop a passion for maple syrup?
I know, but they developed a passion for nature.
Believe it or not, there is not a high admission price tag attached to this. This is a free event happening at the Somerville Growing Center.
Lather me up,
which
and
is not a
boil me
dispensary. What is the definition of hyper local?
Meaning, like, it's literally like, okay, so local would be like you go to the farm stand, right? And you got a farm a few towns away that gives you. Hyper local is, hey, Fred, I boiled this sap into syrup
that
from
tree?
my own trees, and here you go.
Yeah.
That's hyper local.
And that's superior.
Which I did try when I was younger, and it did not work out well.
Did you end up using it as a girlfriend?
Because I couldn't get enough sap.
Well, that's only.
Sap to boil down a syrup. You need a lot of sap to boil down a syrup.
You already drilled the hole.
That only takes care of Saturday for Adam 12. What about
Oh.
Sunday? Thank goodness the International Women's Day March is happening, where you can unite and resist Boston.
I have attended those in the past as well.
Of course you have. Now, this is going to take place at the Massachusetts State House. Admission, of course, free. And there's 12. You've been to it before. You know what it's all about.
Yeah, I've many marches, many trips down to the public gardens in Boston Common to make your way over to the State House and state your case.
Finally,
he's even giving you the route he takes to prove that he has indeed done such things.
Yeah.
Finally, the 18th annual Taste of Chocolate Festival in Harvard Square. This is they've had 2 postponements due to inclement weather, but this free, family-friendly, and eagerly anticipated sweet celebration will take place Saturday, Brattle Street, 1 to 2 p.m.
I saw a one-woman play one time, Jack Hay, A Taste of Chocolate.
I knew you wouldn't be able to let it go. I thought you were going to wait until the show was over, and you were going to tell me what the joke was that you had.
I have way worse ones.
Once the mics are off.
Yeah, once the mics, I can tell you all the horrible things in my mind.
Okay, so there you go. 12's weekend all set. You're welcome.
So there you go. Adam is out to do everything on the government dole. And we will go about our own business. So everyone have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this weather. You know, it's bad. It's very, very bad. All right. That'll do it for us, everyone.
I can't wait to hear it.
I can't even remember. I don't got anything. I'm done for the week. All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great weekend. Bye.
Have a weekend. Toucher and Hardy will be back on Monday on the Sports Hub.
Sex,